Hello and welcome in Elmira Pioneers fans. I'm John Clement here live from Geneva's McDonough Park, and I want to welcome you into the Miller's Mowing pregame show. Who reminds you if your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607 302 8226. A big welcome to everybody from Elmira, and of course, those of you from way out of the way. We want to thank you so much for tuning in here tonight on YouTube.com. Again, we have a unique perspective from up here really high up in the booth. As you get the look down right ahead of me, a pretty good view of the fence, not so much of the outfield wall there, as we've continued to try to make corrections. But hopefully, you can get the gist. And of course, I will be here to help guide you through the action as well. So, once again, a big thank you to everybody who's tuned in here. So the Pioneers riding a one-game winning streak into tonight's action as they will look to continue to improve on that and continue to try to build their way back into a playoff spot. Of course, that's all going to start with putting W's up on the boards. And tonight, they have a pretty good chance as Noah Rubino takes himself out to the hill. This will be his fourth start of the season as yet to register a decision. 3 straight quality starts, 17 innings pitched, 9 hits, 1 run, it was not an earned run, 8 bases on balls, and 19 strikeouts. He's faced 65 batters, one of the tops on the team. He's definitely showed he's got the stuff, and it's going to come down to the bats getting behind him and helping him out. And of course, to do that, a lineup that's not going to look too much different from last night. Andrew Sexton will lead off at center field. Jeff Mejia playing left field, bats second. Preston Moore back at third base. He will bat third. Mason Rollman, who hit the first Pioneers home run of the season last night, will resume at second base and and hit in the cleanup spot. Garrett Schultz will take over in right field and bat fifth. Trey Harmon returns to the lineup. He'll be playing first base and batting sixth. Cam Rudding will be catching here tonight, and he will be batting there in the seventh spot. Number 8, Kyle Richardson will sit in at designated hitter. And ninth, and rounding it out, number 6, Nathan Berg, the shortstop. We've talked about a lot. Preston Moore, 298 batting average, leads the team as Mason Ruhlman, very close behind, now has 10 RBIs, and he has made this season really work for him. Ruhlman will be looking to keep things going on a positive track for himself and continue to drive runs in. On the other side of the diamond, it's going to be another interesting matchup here as Kobe Punchard, will be heading into the game. Kobe is 0-1 on the season in 2 games started. He's got a 6 ERA, has pitched just 9 full innings, 12 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 9 bases on balls, and 10 strikeouts. So he will be the man on the mound for Geneva here tonight. And of course, the Pioneers will be looking to do damage early as they did last night. 6 runs in the first 2 innings of the game. Of course, then the Pioneers would not get much done after that point. However, they were able to get that done. So see what they can do. They'll obviously be looking for a little bit more offensive support. But as we have said all season long, the Pioneers have really been stifled by a lineup that produces in bunches and then goes silent for a long time. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out here tonight. But as we look at the lineup for Geneva, number 1, Brainy Rojas will lead off. He will be playing center field. Noah Fisher will bat second, wearing number 12 and playing second base. Brock Kaufman will take over the shortstop role again tonight. Again, a very similar lineup. We've seen it quite a few times here in the past few weeks as we have played Geneva a heck of a lot. Trevor Rogers will play first base, and he will be wearing number 35, batting cleanup. Cross Grundy takes over in left field, wearing number 23 and batting fifth. Daniel Sperling will be playing third base tonight. He's wearing number 14 and batting sixth. Batting seventh will be Leo Wells, wearing number 11. He will be behind the dish catching. Harrison Treble will be batting eighth and playing right field, wearing number 24. And Herschel White will be the designated hitter as he comes up today, taking the bat in the ninth spot. So, Herschel White out there in the ninth designated hitting hole. You look at the lineup and you're a little surprised when you look. Trey Younger leads the team in batting, 667, but he's only had 3 at bats, has connected in 2 of them, not in the starting lineup. So we'll see how they continue to work through the rotation. Trevor Rogers, of course, batting 326, 14 hits and 43 at bats, has 3 home runs for the Geneva Red Wings, and the Pioneers were victims of one of them. Certainly don't want to see anything like that happen tonight. So the Pioneers going to be trusting a lot on Noah Rubino to come out there and pitch the gems he's been throwing so far. I want to remind you again, Miller's Mowing pregame show is brought to you by Miller's Mowing. If your field isn't game day ready, make sure you give them a call, 607-302-8226. Pioneers getting set for the second and final game of the road trip here. Had the loss at home on Wednesday night. They will be looking to get something going at historic Dunn Field tomorrow as the Pioneers return home for a 4:05 start against another division rival, the Newark Pilots, as they head down to take on the Elmira Pioneers live from Dunn Field. It's a 4:05 start, and you're not going to want to miss a minute of Pioneers action, as once again, it's a Sunday afternoon game. That's always a good time. And of course, it'll be Stitch's birthday party, as well as Value Home Centers nights. And Stitch's birthday party means we've got gifts for you, free cowbells for everyone in attendance. You won't want to miss that, folks, and get your chance to get a free Pioneers cowbell and give a chance to let it ring. So, Pioneers, as we said, 6-1 lead at one point last night against the Watertown Rapids. The Rapids certainly came out and didn't really get off to a good start. Their pitcher settled down, pitched 3 more innings of, well, pretty perfect baseball, 1, 2, 3 innings as he moved through the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But the Pioneers just kept letting the Rapids chip back into it 1 run at a time in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and then luckily getting out of there, not allowing any more damage to be done. The Pioneers did win 7-5 last night, breaking a 6-game losing streak, as now here in Geneva, they'll look to extend their winning streak to 2. As I've said to some of the fans who are just tuning in now, unfortunately, we've going to do the best we can with the camera here. The way that we are focused up here, we're getting a lot of focus on that fence area, but it doesn't work out too well here, as we'll try to adjust it a little more here. But hopefully we'll be able to provide you with the quality game that we hope will be coming up tonight. And again, having just a little bit of trouble with the focus through 2 different fence areas. So thank you all for tuning in here on YouTubeLive.com. We do apologize to our usual Mixler.com crowd. Mixler having some technical issues, so hopefully we will be able to fix that before tomorrow afternoon's game back at historic Dunn Field. Want to thank everybody once again for tuning in here to the Miller's Mowing pregame show. If your field isn't game day ready, give them a call, 607-302-8226. As the Pioneers get set, of course, they will lead off here tonight, and we'll be looking to continue that rapid success. Of course, as I said, last night, they really got into it fairly quickly with a walk, a couple of hit batters, a couple of singles, made their way through the entire starting lineup in the 1st inning, and would love to continue to do that as this one gets underway. We'll see Sexton, the first man up to the plate, and as I said, he's going to have his hands full. Kobe Punchard, he's got the 1 loss, but he's only got a 6 ERA. He's pitched 9 full innings in 2 starts, so he's got 1 no decision in there, and from what I do see in the notes, it was a quality start. We talked about it, 6 runs, all of them earned, 12 hits, so he's been hit more than he's pitched. Of course, 10 strikeouts, though, 1 more strikeout than inning pitched. That's a pretty good ratio, so certainly will be something to watch for, and if the Pioneers can continue to tee off early, that's something that they would like to continue to push through and find a way to do, as we talked about 6-1 at the end of 1.5 yesterday. The early runs really coming in and playing a big factor as it got close towards the end of last night's game, but luckily Nathan Berg was able to come in and make the 2-inning save. Kind of a rarity to see, but it's always nice to see a pitcher come out, especially as much trouble as the bullpen has had this year. The Pioneers bullpen really, once the 6th inning hit, has played a major factor and not always in the best of lights as the Pioneers continue to try to find their way to the win column, winning just game number 4 on the season last night. So the introduction here of the Geneva Red Wings will soon make way into the belting out of the national anthem, which we, of course, will step aside for. Let you guys get the listen in as we wrap up our pregame show here from Miller's Mowing. If your field isn't game day ready, make sure to give them a call, 607 302 8226. And as they make their final introductions, I will step aside and we will step out for the national anthem. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem.
All right, and with that, we are back live here on YouTube Live. Want to thank everybody for tuning in once again as the Elmira Pioneers get set to take on the Geneva Red Wings. And again, the Pioneers looking to come through with another victory here. It's been a rough go on the road for the Pioneers so far this season as they continue to try to string together some wins. We do have, I am aware of the camera being out of focus. Unfortunately, the automatic focus goes to that fence area right in front of me. I'm trying to make some corrections, folks, so please bear with me to the best of your ability. As again, just trying to get that to clear up for you. Not sure that it's doing me any good, but I do apologize for that. As hopefully that's a little sharper. It's not a ton better as I can see myself, but we do want to thank everybody for tuning in here live on youtube.com. Pioneers will start it off, as I've said before, with Andrew Sexton getting back in the batter's box. He started off last night's game with a walk and was a catalyst for a lot of positive things going into the night. Tonight, he is going to step into the batter's box with a leadoff batting average here. He's had 9 attempts with a base on balls. The average is 0, according to the stats compiled by Point Streak. So interesting. He has drawn that walk to start off last night. He did start off in the second inning as well. Flew out, but just wasn't able to really get things started. Sexton, a 5'11", 175-pound junior outfielder from Xavier. Andrews' 980 career fielding percentage at Xavier has been more than impressive. But after a short season in his freshman year, Sexton played in 45 games as a sophomore and led the team with a 429 on-base percentage. Sexton was a Cincinnati Enquirer first-team All-City pick in 2016 and a two-time Cincinnati Enquirer honorable mention All-City pick as well, as being named as the first-team All-GCL South as a senior. So the accolades, as we always talk about, definitely impressive, as now we'll see what he can do here this summer as stepping up to the plate for the first time, Andrew Sexton. As he steps in, he will be the first one to greet Kobe Punchard. And as we said, it's going to be important to get off to a quick start here for the Pioneers. That is when they are at their best, is when they can get off to a quick start. And with Noah Rubino on the hill, you'd love to get him a lot of support. He has not really seen a ton of support in his couple outings. As I said, all 3 starts, quality starts, just unable to get a win under his belt. The first pitch is in there for a strike. So, the Pioneers to start getting down in the count early. Once again, waiting, the windup, the pitch, swung on and a miss, 0-2. As Sexton stepping in there, he's batting 105 on the season, just 2 hits here in 19 at bats. So Sexton looking to break out of his slump. As I said, some good at bats yesterday. Big swing there. So Sexton goes down on 3 consecutive pitches and goes 0-1 on the swinging strikeout. That'll bring to the dish Jeff Mejia. Mejia again yesterday, catalyst for the Pioneers offense. But as he comes up here today, we'll look at the overall season numbers. He's up there towards the top. 9 hits and 34 at bats. Batting 265 here in the young season. And we talked about it yesterday. A lot of left-handed bats for the Pioneers at the top of the order. 4th straight pitch in there for a strike. So certainly the type of start that Kobe Punchard was looking for. Punchard winds, delivers, and outside. There's the first ball of the evening for Kobe Punchard, and that puts the count at 1-1 with 1 out. This is our first Tioga Downs showdown of the evening. So again, Mejia awaits the pitch, fouls that one back towards the screen, and he'll have to do it over again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Mejia chatting with the umpire as catcher goes back to retrieve the ball that skittered off the screen and right back towards that home plate area. Actually shot back into fair territory. Don't see a lot of that. We saw some catchers chasing some balls last night in Watertown, especially down back home at historic Dunn Field. Catchers can run for days trying to chase down balls. Next pitch bounces up to the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Mejia looking to break out here. On the young season, we talked about 9 hits, 1 of them a double, and only 1 RBI, as he has not been set up too well to drive in runs, as he has had to really be a catalyst for most of the season. The pitch, high again, 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count, as Mejia brings it all the way back now. He is stepping back in. Certainly knows how to work a count, as we've seen early and often this season. The windup and the pitch, cut on and fouled back again into the screen, back behind home plate. So we'll do it again, as we now are on the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Mejia comes set and waits. Looking out. Pitcher has the sign. He winds, delivers. Cut on, hit right there towards the second baseman, and little trouble there as Mejia can't quite beat it out, and he will be thrown out despite a bobble there at the second base position. That'll bring up Preston Moore. Moore coming up today. He is the best hitter in the lineup for the Pioneers thus far. 14 hits in 47 at-bats, a double, a triple, 8 RBIs. He also has walked 3 times this season, so we'll see. We know everyone in the Pioneers lineup can work a count. As again, Moore waits. The first pitch is low, 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs here as the Pioneers try to follow through and get things started early. Has not been the case through 2 batters here. As the number 3 batter is up, swinging and fouls that one back. I think that one bounced back and got the umpire as he takes his helmet off and tries to reset. 1 ball, 1 strike count. As now Preston Moore steps back into the box. Moore staring out. He waits the 1-1. The line, the delivery, and hit down the third base line, but I guess that bounced up and hit Moore, so play is called dead there on the foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So another opportunity here for Moore, as he'll have a pitch he's looking for, but have to be defensive at this point. He waits. The pitcher has the sign, winds, and delivers, and that one bounces away as Moore wisely holds up 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another Tioga Downs showdown, reminding you too can be an all-star. Head on down and see Smash Mouth live this summer at Tioga Downs Resort and Casino. So the windup and the pitch. Big swing, dropped there by the catcher, and hold on. They do call the strikeout here, as the Pioneers arguing that he fouled it off. And again, hold on. Now there's a pause here. So Geneva was headed off the field thinking they had the strikeout. The argument came directly from Preston Moore, who said he got a piece of it. And now the umpire resetting everything, sending everyone back out, and Moore will have another opportunity. So Punchard, having to throw at least one more pitch here. As Moore steps back in. Punchard looks in. Has his sign, comes set, winds, delivers, and cut on and hit right back out towards the second baseman. And this time picked up cleanly, thrown over to first, and that will do it. The Pioneers go down 1-2-3. 2 balls put into play, both to the second baseman. So a heavy half inning for the second baseman for the Geneva Red Wings. We're going to head down now and head to the bottom half of the first, which is going to bring up Noah Rubino. Rubino, of course, we talked about before, 3 quality starts. Certainly has made an impact with his pitching. Unfortunately, just the bullpen has not given him a way to get through to the end of the game. His last outing, he did pitch 6 innings and did everything that he could possibly do on his Atlas, but just needs some help now from the bullpen as we head into his 4th start of the season. Has not allowed an earned run yet. Brainy Rojas will be the first to greet him. When we come back, you're listening to Pioneers Baseball here on YouTube.com. All right, and as we come back here live, the Elmira Pioneers, Noah Rubino getting set and ready to throw it down here. Rubino wears number 35, very similar to Justin Verlander. Certainly has thrown like Verlander here in the early goings of the season. He has yet to achieve a win or a loss, but in 3 quality starts, the Pioneers have always been given a chance to win. And now he's going to be looked at to do exactly the same thing here. Brainy Rojas will lead it off as we look at the stats: 12 at bats, 250 average, and 7 bases on balls. Rojas can certainly work a count, and now we'll see what he does here. Noah Rubino steps back onto the mound. This is the second time Rubino has pitched on the road in just his 4th appearance this season. The pitch, high, 1-0. So Rojas greatly shrinks down that strike zone, as you see. Quite a crouch there as the front of the body comes forward. The knees are up and jutted out as that is in there for ball 2, 2-0. So Rojas stepping back in. We mentioned this several times as Geneva comes back to the plate here. They tend to be very close to the plate, not using a ton of the batter's box. That one will be in there for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. As Rojas looking to find out where that one got the zone, as now he will step back in. We've seen the threat Rojas can be on the base paths. Certainly don't want to let him get on to start things off, as that one apparently inside 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike as Rubino trying to find himself out here on the Geneva mound. As we are live from McDonough Park, Rubino winds, delivers, cut on, and hit down the third base line, and they call that one foul, as that will send Rojas back to the home plate area. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count, as now Rubino will be looking to get Rojas out of here. As once again, Rubino will get set on the mound. He looks in. Cam Redding back behind the dish. Gives a sign as Rubino comes set, winds, and deals. That one's over for a strike, and he strikes out Brainy Rojas. So Rojas goes down looking, and that'll bring up Noah Fisher. Fisher on the season, 316, has 6 hits and 19 appearances, 2 of those doubles, 3 RBIs, and 2 walks on his season thus far. See what Fisher can do. He's been a pretty much perennial number 2 hitter. Noah Rubino fixing his shoelace. As again, we've had 4 straight outs now. No base runners as of this point of the ball game. That one cut on, hit up through the middle, picked up there by Berg, tossed over to first, and Trey Harmon couldn't keep his foot on the bag. So as soon as I say it, the base runners appear. Noah Fisher gets in there, and we'll wait for the official score there, as I do believe it'll be an error on the throw. So that'll put Fisher on an error and bring up Brock Kaufman. Kaufman, the shortstop, batting just 186, 8 hits in 43 at bats, has a double to his credit. Also 6 RBIs and 5 base on balls so far. So an error on the Pioneers, no hits on the board quite yet, as that one is in there for a strike, 0-1. Kaufman, the number 3 hitter. Rubino would love to get him to ground out and turn 2. Last ground out with the rush throw there. Unable to actually get the out over at first. Rubino comes set, he winds, delivers, and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Our first Tioga Down showdown for the Geneva Red Wings. So, Rubino working out the stretch here. Not something he's had to do a whole heck of a lot of in his appearances. Winds, delivers a little bit low there. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Rubino trying to find his pacing here. It's been quite a while since he started. A little over a week at this point. As the Pioneers have had a very slim schedule this week. Off Monday, Tuesday, off on Thursday. Last time Rubino did start was in Mohawk Valley. The wind, the pitch. In there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Rubino really knows how to paint those corners. See what he can do here. Rubino looking in, trying to find the sign. He checks the runner over at first. Very, very small lead there at first. As Rubino coming back set. Now the umpire calls for time. Rubino held up a little bit too long on the mound there. So the umpire will reset. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Rubino checks the runner. A little bit bigger lead at first, but not by much. As now he winds, delivers, and bounces one up. Now the runner's off, thrown down here by Redding, and the tag is not in time. So off of the bobble there, the runner advances to second. So Noah Fisher is now standing at second base with 1 out. 3 ball, 2 strike count here on the Geneva Red Wings batter. This is Brock Kaufman, the shortstop. So Rubino checking now the runner at second base. The wind, the pitch, cut on, popped up in the air, and going back to play it is the shortstop, and he makes the grab, and that'll keep the runner painted at second base as Kaufman goes 0 for 1 on the pop out to Nathan Berg. Trevor Rogers will head up to the plate now. Rogers, a first baseman, wearing number 35. Talked about him a little bit earlier. Rogers batting 14 for 43 for 326. Does have 3 homers on the year, including 1 against your Elmira Pioneers. Still no hits for either side, as once again trying to work quickly here is Rubino. First pitch in there for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Rubino comes back set on the mound. Looking in. Rogers waiting on the pitch. Still has the runner on second there as Noah Fisher is taking short leads. Doesn't seem to trust his speed very much. Went with the passed ball a little bit earlier. See if he might try to move up again. The wind and deal is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Redding looking for a new ball here. As again, Rubino will head back out to the mound. Adjusts himself out there. Steps back on the rubber and looks in as he's checking down. Looks in to Cam Redding, getting that doesn't like the sign, shakes him off. Now he's got the one he likes, looks back at second base, and steps off momentarily. So we'll reset and start it over again. Rubino looking in. Got the sign he likes, checks the runner back at second again. And now we'll wind, deliver, and that one is in there for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. As the Pioneers pitching, clearly trying to work around the outside corners there. Doesn't want to give in, as Rogers certainly dangerous with the bat. The line, the pitch from Rubino is high, and on 4 straight pitches, he will walk Rogers. So that'll bring up cross Grundy. Grundy comes up, and as we look down, he's batting .316 on the year, 12 for 38, 7 RBIs, including a home run of his own. Also has 10 bases on balls. So Grundy going to try to find the first hit for Geneva, as Elmira's trying to put down this inning. Have gone through 1, 2, 3, and 4, as Grundy takes a big cut there on the first pitch, 0-1. Rubino getting Grundy to fish a little bit there, as that was a little bit outside. Let's see what Rubino can do here. He's got the sign. Checks the runner back at second. Again, very small leads from these Geneva base runners. That one outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs for Noah Rubino. Rubino looking to get through another inning here without giving up an earned run. Has been his calling card so far this season. Rubino checks the runner. Now he winds, delivers, and inside. Didn't quite hit Grundy, and maybe lucky about that. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. So Rubino coming back set. Looks to be having a little bit of a control issue here early. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Rubino winds and deals. Cut on and into the gap. This is going to bring in at least 1 as the left fielder picks it up, tosses in quickly, and it slides away from the third baseman. So first and third now with a run scored, as Grundy able to put bat on ball and achieve an RBI. So early on here, Geneva goes up 1-0. That will bring up Daniel Sperling. Sperling heading up to the plate. As we look down towards the averages here, he's had 9 hits and 25 at-bats, batting .360, a double, a home run, 9 RBIs, as he takes strike 1. Runners at the corner, certainly not the way the Pioneers drew up their first inning. They've given up the first official hit of the game and the first run of the game, as now Rubino stepping off, looking for something here as he comes back, checks the runner over at first, gets set, winds and deals. That one will bounce up there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. As now facing the 6th batter in the order is Rubino. So Rubino comes back set. He looks in, waiting for the sign. No runner back on second, so the signs get a lot simpler as now he winds, deals. That one's in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Rubino trying to limit the damage here. As I've said, Rubino absolutely stellar in his first 3 outings. We'll hope to have this be the maximum damage that occurs in this one, as that one is swung on and fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and we'll do it again here. Big challenge in Daniel Sperling, who, as I said, batting .360 on the year. Has 2 men out, but also 2 runners on base. Rubino shakes off the first sign, checks the runners, and now he comes back set. Winds, deals, and cut on and fouled back again. So, as we continue to talk about this here, with runners on, 2 men out, Sperling has batted .500. Has had this opportunity 4 times previously. The line, the pitch, skips in, keeps the ball in front of him, does Cam Redding, but that'll allow the runner at first to move up to second base. Now runners at second and third, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So a very important next pitch here for number 35, Noah Rubino. Pioneers don't want to surrender another run here. as Rubino looking in. He's got his sign. Checks the runner at second. He winds and delivers, and swinging strike. Rubino will get out of the inning. So a couple of strikeouts for Rubino. Unfortunately for the Pioneers, they do give up the first run and the first hit of the ball game. When we come back, the Pioneers will go back to work. Mason Ruhlman, Garrett Schultz, Trey Harmon set to come to the dish. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right, folks, and welcome back. As the next inning getting started, tried to do some more camera adjustments. Unfortunately, just not able to get too much to work with this setup that we have here. So I do apologize. Again, the camera is auto-focusing there on the fence as Mason Ruhlman comes in, and he will take his first cuts of the ball game. Had his first home run last night in Watertown, as that one is cut on, hit, and quickly caught there by the shortstop. That one hit hard, just unfortunately didn't have the distance, as now the Pioneers have gone down 4 batters in a row. That will bring up Garrett Schultz. Schultz comes up to the dish tonight, and he has, as I said, had the best average amongst the team, as that one is up there towards the top. And again, we'll have to continue to work. He's got 2 doubles already on the season, as that one is in there for ball number 1. Schultz has had 9 bases on balls this season as well, and has certainly been a catalyst for a lot of action early on. The windup and the pitch. That one is fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, another Tioga Downs showdown. As we remind you that Tioga Downs is not only a fun place to play games, but also a great place to stay. Brand new hotel, check it out. As that one comes in, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pioneers looking for a way to answer back as they gave up that run in the bottom of the first. Schultz comes set. He's waiting as the windup and the pitch. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out as Kobe Punchard looking to quickly make his way through the Pioneers' second inning and second third of their order. Wind up the pitch and connected on there. Rolled down towards the third baseman. He picks it up, hurls it over, and is in time. So another 0 for 1, as that'll bring up the first baseman, Trey Harmon. Harmon, 8 hits and 31 at-bats. He's batting .258 on the season, 2 RBIs, a double to his credit, but perhaps more impressive, tied for the team lead, 12 bases on balls. He and Jeff Mejia actually leading in that category. Harmon steps in. The wind, the pitch, in there for a strike, paints the inside corner. So again, Punchard going right back to work here. Top of the second. Pioneers have yet to be able to even put anyone on base. Big hole there to the right-hand side. The wind, the pitch, big swing there, and 0-2 goes the count. So Pioneers going right back to work, trying to find a way on base. A little surprised at the overshift here to the left-hand side, as the wind and pitch connected on. That one is hit towards the left, picked up there by the third baseman, and he bobbles it. So Harmon will be the first Pioneer to reach base. That is going to go up for an error. So still no hits for the Pioneers, but they do have a base runner, and that brings up Cam Redding. Redding batting .219 this season, 7 for 32, 3 doubles, and 8 base on balls. Has struck out 10 times, however. So we'll see what he can do, as he would love to bring Trey Harmon around the base pass and get this game back knotted up. Redding stepping in, he looks out the wind, the pitch connected on there by Redding. That one heads out to the left center field area, and it will be an easy play there for the left fielder, and that will do it for the Pioneers half of the inning. Pioneers still yet to have a hit in the game, a 1-0 lead for Geneva at this point. As always, we want to take a moment here to recognize the great people that make it possible for the Pioneers to continue to play ball and give you guys a list of who those amazing sponsors are. So we want to say a big thank you to AIM Independent Living, Arc of Chemung, Arnett Health, Arnett Mall, AT&T, Banfield Baker, Bill's Bullpen, Blaze Brockway Contracting, Bobby Rodriguez, Howard Hanna, Buckley's Automotive, Bully Hill Vineyards, Karuba Collision, Castle Grish, Chad R. Hammond, Chemung Canal, Chemung County, Chris Denton, Corning, Corning Gafford District, CSCA, Dandy Mini Marts, Domino's, Dunkin' Donuts, Eastern Metals, Elbow Room, Elm Chevy, Elmira Corning Airport, Evan Barnes, Century 21, Excelis Blue Cross Blue Shield, and Easy Budget. A huge thank you to all of you who make it possible for us to continue to play ball here in 2019. When we come back, we'll have the bottom half of the second, and the Pioneers will look to get out of that unscathed as well. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right, and with Noah Rubino throwing the last of his warm-up pitches, Cam Redding throwing a bit high there to second base, that will bring up Leo Wells, the catcher for the team from Geneva, as the Pioneers will be certainly looking to increase their rate of play here. Love to get through the inning a little bit easier than they did in the last inning. Rubino had to face 6 batters, so he's facing the bottom part of the batting order here. 7, 8, and 9 all due up here in the bottom of the second. Rubino comes set, winds and delivers. In there for ball 1, 1-0. As Rubino heads back out to the mound, has the ball and is ready, looking in, gets the sign, and begins his windup. Quickly back down 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes for Rubino here in the early part of the bottom of the second. Rubino likes to get into a groove and keep things moving. You see, doesn't spend a lot of time getting signs, as that one comes back up and hits us up here in the broadcast booth. Want to remind everybody once again to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. 2 balls, 1 strike as Rubino looks in, has his sign, winds and delivers. Big cut again as that one's fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As we said, 7, 8, and 9 here as Wells is up. Wells looking out at Rubino, who moves in. Winds, delivers, and in there for strike 3. So that'll put Leo Wells down on strikes, as that's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Noah Rubino. Harrison Treble will be the next man to come to the dish. He's batting just 150, has gone 3 for 20 this summer thus far, has a double and a triple to his credit. The first pitch in there for ball number 1. 1-0 the count. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 man out, as Rubino looking to quickly move through the second inning here. Rubino has been very efficient in the games that he's pitched this year. Big cut there down the first base line. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Down showdown as Rubino heads back out to the hill. Checking around, looking, waiting, as now he comes back set. Winds, delivers, and swung on, fouled right back into the cage again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Geneva has a tally in every category: 1 run, 1 hit, 1 out. Your Pioneers, no runs, no hits, 1 error. Has had a runner on base, however, as Trey Harmon reached on an error. Big swing and strikeout number 2 of the inning as Harrison Treble goes down on strikes. So that's Rubino's 4th strikeout as Thursel White will come up. White is 0 for 6 on the season so far. White comes in. He's got 2 strikeouts already on the season. Rubino would love to strike out the side here. Over for strike number 1. 0-1 the count. White steps back in. As Rubino looks, gets the sign, winds, and deals. In there for strike number 2. 0-2 the count. So Noah Rubino certainly showing his stuff here. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hit. That one is hit hard out towards the left fielder, and that will be played out there. The grab is made as the left fielder makes the catch and doesn't get the strike out of the side, but does the job as the Pioneers put up their first 0 of the ball game. 1-0 lead after 2 full. We'll be right back. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball here on YouTube.com. All right, and we are back here live from McDonough Park up here in Geneva, New York. Kobe Punchard, who's had, well, you can't ask for much better 2 innings than he's had. He's going to face 8, 9, and 1, Richardson, Berg, and Sexton. Sexton, the only strikeout of the game thus far for the Pioneers, as leading off this half of the inning is going to be Kyle Richardson. Richardson, who has led off 5 times, has yet to get a hit in that situation. However, outside of that, Richardson batting a .174 this season, has 4 hits in 23 appearances. See what he can do here. The wind and the delivery. Cut on there by Richardson, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. As Elmira looking to get themselves back into this game, down by just a run here in the top of the 3rd. Punchard winds, delivers, cut on again and fouled back by Richardson. No balls, 2 strikes. Punchard, we talked about it earlier, certainly had not gotten off to a great start. Still had a ERA up in the 6 area in 2 starts, but has certainly looked proficient here tonight as this one swung on and fouled there towards the bench for Elmira. Nathan Berg, who came in and had the 2-inning save last night, will be the next batter to face the so far unhittable pitcher through 2 full. Line the pitch in there for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Richardson looking to put a dent in that hit column as well. Richardson steps back in. 1-2. The wind and the pitch. Connected on there by Richardson. Driven out there towards center field. And that one will be caught, as that was easy out there for the center fielder. So again, no hits yet as Nathan Berg comes up to the dish. Talked about Berg's amazing performance last night on the mound, coming over from shortstop to then pitch the last 2 innings of the game. Berg is 6 for 33 on the season, has a double and 4 RBIs, has walked 4 times as well. So Berg looking out. The windup and the pitch. Big swing there from Nathan Berg. 0-1 the count. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As the Pioneers order about to flip over. See what Berg can get done here. The windup and the pitch. Cut on, hit up the middle, bounce towards the shortstop. Shortstop picks up Fields, and that one in time. So another one grounded out for the Elmira Pioneers, and that'll bring up Andrew Sexton. Sexton heads back in as he's batting a .05, 2 hits in 19 appearances. Obviously, with the strikeout earlier, that goes to 2 for 20, so an even 100 on the batting average. Be looking to take off that strikeout that he had earlier. The pitch outside, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Sexton looking to extend this inning and give Jeff Mejia a chance as he waits. Punchard winds and delivers. Outside again, 2 balls, no strikes. So some patience here from the leadoff hitter. As again, Sexton stepping in. He waits, Punchard winds and delivers. In there for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Now we'll see what the strategy is here from Sexton. He looks out. Punchard getting the sign. He's got the one he wants. Moves into his rotation and delivers. Low, 3 balls, 1 strike. As now, Pioneers hitter Andrew Sexton has a little bit of wiggle room here with the 3-1 count. So Sexton waiting as the pitcher winds and delivers. Cut on and fouled back here towards the screen. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs as the Pioneers looking for their first base runner of the evening, as now they've officially batted around. Sexton trying to find a way on base. Once again, time is called as pitcher taking just a little bit too long there. Kobe Punchard will step off, take a stroll around the mound. As I think he's trying to see the sign out there just as well. He steps back onto the mound. Now looking in. Got the sign. He comes set, winds, delivers. Outside, ball 4. So Andrew Sexton has struck out and now walked. And that'll bring up Jeff Mejia. Mejia 0 for 1 on the day. So now 9 hits in 35 at-bats so far this season. Mejia with the ground out to second base. He'll be looking to possibly elevate something there into right center. There's a big gap here for whatever reason. Everything going towards the right side looks fairly wide open, which is peculiar with the left-handed batter up there. So you see the second baseman playing way off of second base there. Sexton will retreat back to first. Tag not nearly in time, as that might have been a courtesy throw over there from Punchard. So Mejia, looking for his first pitch of the at-bat, would love to put something into a gap and let Sexton get galloping. As now Punchard working out the stretch for just the second time in the 3rd inning here. Pitch connected on, hit there, foul, and back towards the parking lot. So a quick reminder to make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. Mejia stepping back in. Now he gets the sign from his third base coach. Sexton also looking over for the sign. As now Mejia steps in and Punchard will go back to work. Punchard gets set. Working out the stretch again as Sexton gets back in time. So no balls, 1 strike count with 2 outs here as the Pioneers working with just their second base runner of the early first third of this game. As again, Mejia waits at the dish. The wind, the pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs as Sexton faked the steal. Made a giant lunge over there at first base. Doesn't have quite the lead you would think a runner would need to get to second base, especially the way that Punchard has been pitching here tonight. So Punchard coming back set, little crooked stance. Hadn't sat like that before. Almost advertised the throw over as he appeared to twist his body around a little more. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs on Jeff Mejia. And Punchard very concerned about Andrew Sexton. So Mejia awaiting. The wind and the pitch. Mejia connects, but that is going to get foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and that will send Andrew Sexton back to first base. Sexton was off and moving on that one, so perhaps a little bit less than surprising if you consider he is the leadoff batter, and certainly you would assume quite a bit of speed over there. So Sexton takes his lead again. Mejia looking out. Mejia with 2 strikes on him here. Has to be defensive. Check over at first base now. As the pitcher comes back set. Looks in, winds, delivers. Cut on there by Mejia, grounded right towards the first baseman. Bounces up on him and eats him up. Mejia's going to get there, and he will be safe. As we look up again, waiting to see the official ruling here. That will go for an error again. So Mejia moves to 0 for 2. Second reach on an error on the night. As that'll bring up Preston Moore. Moore batting just a shade under 300. He's 0 for 1 on the night, but does have 14 hits in 48 attempts this season. Moore, already this season, has 8 RBIs. Would love to drive in one here. Get this game back tied up. A big hole there on the right-hand side. Pioneers, first time tonight with 2 runners on. The windup and the pitch is in there for ball 1. 1-0 the count. 1 ball, no strikes as Preston Moore stepping back in. So Moore waiting. 1-0 the count. He waits. The pitch. Cut on and popped over there towards first base, and they're going to have room. It'll be caught by the first baseman, so that will do it for the Pioneers' third inning as Moore goes down 0 for 2. Pioneers had 2 base runners, just couldn't do anything to bring them across. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right, and with that, we want to welcome you all back in and give another huge shout out to some of our great sponsors who have been with us here and make it possible for us to put out Pioneers Baseball here live on YouTube and usually on Mixler.com. Having some issues with that here over the past couple of games, so we do apologize to all of our usual Mixler.com fans, and thank you so much for joining us over here on YouTube. And we once again do apologize about the camera, and it's zooming in on that fence area. I've tried a few things to try to fix it, but unfortunately, it just has not worked out for my best efforts. I do apologize. Once again, we want to thank Farrell Gas, First Heritage FCU, First Transit, FM Howell, Gary's Towing, Gigi's Place, Glove House, Gow Holding, GTP, Hardin Jink, Heroes Comic Shop, Hilliard, His Tabernacle, IBM, Journey Fitness, Jubilee Foods, Just in Time, Kahunas, Kennedy Valve, Kitchen and Bath Gallery, the law offices of Kevin P. Flynn, M&J Oil and Lube, M&T Bank, Marion Decker, Miller's Mowing, Morrison's Heating, Open MRI, NYS, COPBA, Papa John's, Pinecraft Golf Club, and Precision Automotive Performance. When we get back to it later in the game, we will continue to give thanks, but thank you to all of those great sponsors. So that'll bring up Brainy Rojas, the center fielder. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout. Talked about it a little bit earlier. Rojas, 250 average as a leadoff hitter. Now has been up there 13 times as a leadoff hitter. This will be number 14. 1-0 the count. As the windup and the pitch from Rubino cut on and fouled back and over the box. So again, we want to remind you, make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and auto glass. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Rojas steps back in. As again, Noah Rubino looking to get into his groove here. Struggled a little bit in the first inning, but since then has done a pretty good job of putting the hammer down. Didn't allow anything in the second, and now as he starts off the third, he's 2 balls, 1 strike to Brainy Rojas. So Rubino winds, sets, delivers, cut on and driven out there to right field, and that one's going to be a can of corn. Easy play there for the right fielder as Rojas moves down to 0 for 2 on the night. This will bring up Noah Fisher. Fisher reached on an error in his first at bat and would eventually come around. So far, the only run of the ball game. Fisher stepping back in as Rubino certainly remembers that first inning and wants to close the book on that and move along. Rubino comes set, he winds and delivers. In there for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. As Rubino looking to continue his dominant performance here early on. The wind, the pitch, inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Downs showdown. Tioga Downs a great place to stop and eat. As you may have seen, Tioga Downs offered a great seafood buffet there just a couple of days ago. Check it out on every Thursday night. The wind, the pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As again, Rubino trying to push it through and make his way through the bottom half of the third inning here. Rubino comes back, set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and fouled away. Cam Redding jumped up and will throw the ball back to Rubino. We'll see another pitch here as Noah Fisher, 0 for 1 on the night. He did reach on that error back in the first inning and came around to score. Rubino comes set. He winds and delivers. Cut on, hit towards the third baseman, scooped up, and another error here on the third baseman. So, Noah Fisher has now gone 0 for 2, but reached on an error 2 times. So, that'll bring up Brock Kaufman. Kaufman 0 for 1 on the night as well. Noah Rubino is going to be looking to either work in a ground ball double play. That would be idealistic, of course. But we'll certainly be looking to keep Noah Fisher right where he is, as he's reached base now twice, both times on an error. That one a little bit high, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. As again, stepping back in, Kaufman gets in, as I've mentioned. A big swing there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. As now we go to another Tioga Downs showdown. As I've mentioned, Geneva, much like Newark, very close on top of that plate area. Doesn't use a whole heck of a lot of the batter's box. And that does shrink that inside part of the plate for pitchers like Rubino, who tend to like to paint the corners. So Rubino comes back set. He looks in, winds, delivers. Runner is off. Redding throws down to second, and the tag is in time. So Noah Fisher caught stealing, and that'll increase it to 2 outs. 2 balls, 1 strike count here for Geneva, as Brock Kaufman trying to put some more pressure on the Pioneers, as now he's lost his runner at first. So Rubino might be able to work out of this anyway. We'll see what he can do. As Rubino comes back set, begins his wind and delivers. Hammered there in between the first and second baseman, and that'll put another runner on base. So just the second hit of the night as Kaufman hammered one through the gap. And that'll bring up Trevor Rogers. Rogers came up in the first inning. He walked on 4 straight pitches. Noah Rubino did not want to test him whatsoever. So we'll see what he chooses to do here. Stepping in, Rogers, his first official at bat now. As the pitch wound, delivered, crushed on there towards right field, and that one is going to get foul. So a foul ball down the line, as that will put things back 0-1 the count. Certainly don't want to throw that one again, as that one just got foul. Pioneers able to breathe a sigh of relief. As again, Trevor Rogers will step back in. We talked about it earlier. His ability is there to hit home runs. Rogers with 3 already on the season. 0-1 count in favor of Rubino here. Rogers stepping back in. Rubino coming set. Runner on first. The wind, the pitch, bounced up to the plate, and that will be blown dead here. So, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, as Reading will look for a new ball. That setting sun over there in the left field direction, certainly a bit blinding, looking out into it as Reading has to do. So Rubino checks the runner over there at first. Not a huge lead at first. Rubino deals and cut on, hit there towards the second baseman, picked up and thrown back to first, and that will do it. So they get Rogers to ground out to the second baseman, and the Pioneers will get a chance to hit again here in the top of the 4th. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right, and we are back here live for the top of the 4th inning. Going to be led off by Mason Ruhlman, the second baseman. So Ruhlman, he certainly had some late game heroics yesterday. Would love to continue his hitting as he drove one out of the ballpark, and we certainly had our breath held there in the bottom of the 3rd. Geneva still with that 1-0 lead over the Pioneers here in the top of the 4th inning. A lot of game left, and the Pioneers certainly have been able to score in bunches. They'll be hoping to do that. 1-0 count as Ruhlman leads off an inning. Something that Ruhlman has had to do a couple times this year. That's just the next pitch is in there for a strike on a big swing there from Mason Ruhlman. 1 ball, 1 strike. As I said, Ruhlman 14 times as a leadoff hitter, buck 43 with 1 base on ball. So Ruhlman comes set. Pitcher delivers. Big swing. Hit there towards the gap in between first and second. The pitcher trying to get over to cover, and Ruhlman is not in time. So he grounds out there as the first baseman picks up and throws over. That one will bring up Garrett Schultz, as Ruhlman just did not have the speed to get down there. And now Schultz will head into the batter's box. I got to tell you, Kobe Punchard has really been on his stuff here tonight. As we said, just 9 innings pitched coming into tonight. Had a 6 ERA. Hasn't shown any signs of that here to this point in the ballgame. A couple pitchers already warming up down in the Geneva bullpen. That's inside 1-0. The bullpen down there for the Pioneers looks to be pretty quiet, as Rubino is well known to go at least 5, maybe even 6 innings. The windup and the pitch from Punchard in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Our next Tioga Downs showdown. As once again, Garrett Schultz looking. He waits as Punchard gets a sign. He winds and delivers. And that's low. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Schultz steps back into the batter's box. Schultz, a freshman to be at Xavier this year. Certainly getting some collegiate experience here in the summer leagues. The pitch, connected on there by Schultz, driven out towards the shortstop, scooped up and thrown over, and couldn't get there. Safe is the call, as a big reach there by the large first baseman tried to tag Schultz. As now we look down, that's going to go for an error as well. So Schultz will reach on an error. Trey Harmon coming up, he's reached on an error here tonight as well. Pioneers getting another base runner, though. So some positives starting to spring up for the Pioneers as Trey Harmon heads to the dish. We talked about it earlier. Now he comes up with runners on base as the catcher was looking for a brand new baseball. So the runners on base, Trey Harmon, 294, 17 at bats. He's had 2 RBIs in this situation. See what he can do. As I continue to say, a lot of room on the right side of the field. Center plays almost towards center or left center. So if Harmon can push one, he's going to have a good chance to put something in a gap. So the check on the runner at first was unsuccessful. Trey Harmon stepping back into the batter's box. He looks out, waiting for his pitch. Harmon, the first baseman from Kentucky. And waiting again as the throw over. Time was called by the umpire as the throw over was going to check on Garrett Schultz. Schultz now has reached on an error. So still no hits on the Pioneers side of the board. However, they have caused 3 errors. So 3 times they've had runners on base due to error. That one's going to be popped and back as that will be foul. Long run there for the catcher as now Pioneers batter Trey Harmon, 0-1 count here. Harmon, the number 4 first base prospect in the nation. Certainly has had his struggles this summer. They talked a lot about the switch from the aluminum bat to the wooden bat, and you're seeing quite a lot of that throughout the Pioneers lineup as a lot of these kids getting their first crack at the wooden bat. So Harmon waiting as the pitcher coming set again. Puncher checks the runner one more time. Very, very concerned about Garrett Schultz over there. Schultz and Harmon both have reached on an error, as has Jeff Mejia. That accounts for the 3 errors on the Geneva side of the board. No Pioneers have made it across the plate, though, and they trail 1-0. Harmon awaiting. Puncher moves into his windup and throws. That one bounces up there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Down showdown as Punchard heads back out to the mound. Trey Harmon has had an eagle eye at the plate, though. We talked earlier about base on balls, and he's really been able to work the counts here early on in the season. The windup and the pitch. Big swing from Trey Harmon. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out. The next man on deck is Cam Redding. You know Trey Harmon would love to put something in play, possibly get the Pioneers their first hit of the ball game. He's certainly been swinging as if he's going to tie up and possibly put the Pioneers ahead. That one swung on and missed. Big throw there, up and over towards the shortstop, as now that is a stolen base on the strikeout from Trey Harmon. It was just the second strikeout of the game for the pitcher for the Red Wings, Kobe Punchard. That brings up Cam Redding, as Garrett Schultz has a stolen base. And Redding has a runner in scoring position with 2 men out. So, 2 men out, runners in scoring position. Cam Redding is 1 for 5. Does have an RBI, but he's batting .200 in this situation. See what he can do. As the pitcher checks the runner on second 3 times before hurling it home. That one skips and thrown down here as trying to get to third. That's going to be a caught stealing, as again, Garrett Schultz thrown out down there at third base. So Redding doesn't get the opportunity as that ball bounced away from the catcher, and Schultz was on the move, thinking he could get there, just was not to be. So, another half inning in the books. Pioneers still trailing 1-0 as we head towards the bottom of the fourth. Want to give one more shout out to our amazing sponsors who allow the Elmira Pioneers to play ball in the 2019 summer. Papa John's, Pinecroft Golf Club, Precision Automotive Performance, Rodney Strange, Ryan Distributing, Seneca Beverage, Sheddon's Wholesale, Skyworks, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Logistics, STCF, Suburban Propane, Texas Roadhouse, Tomaso's Golf Course, Tom's South Corning Collision, Turtle Leaf Cafe, Value Home Center, Vasco Brands, Watkins Glen International, Watkins Glen Supply, Weiss Construction, Well Now Urgent Care, Wilbur Auto Sales, XGen Pharmaceuticals, and Zeph Law. We want to thank each and every one of you for participating in the 2019 season of the Elmira Pioneers. With that, we'll be right back. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right. So, back on the mound, Noah Rubino heads back out here. Want to thank you guys once again for tuning in as the Elmira Pioneers do battle with the Geneva Red Wings. Red Wings hold a 1-0 lead here as we head into the bottom of the fourth. As now Cross Grundy going to come up. He's 1-for-1, does have an RBI. So Grundy heads up to the plate, and Rubino will go right back to work. That sun continues to set, has to cause quite a bit of problems for the catcher, as that has got to be right into the peripheral. So again, Grundy stepping up to the plate as a leadoff hitter. Grundy has gone 571. He's done very well as a leadoff hitter in 7 attempts. So that's 4 for 7. Those of you doing the math at home. He steps back in, looking out. The wind and delivery from Rubino cut on and popped up in the air towards the first base side. Trey Harmon is over and makes the grab. So 5 for 8 on that one. As doesn't go his way that time, and he goes 1 for 2. As again, this will bring up Daniel Sperling. 4 for 8. My apologies. My math skills notwithstanding, folks. Down to 500 as a leadoff hitter was Grundy. That one's grounded quickly over to the shortstop, scooped up, thrown over to first, and Harmon has it in time. So 2 very quick outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That'll bring up Leo Wells, the catcher, number 7 in the order. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout already here tonight. Wells, as we talked about a little bit earlier, batting .286. 2 hits in 8 at-bats now, so a little bit less than that now, down to about .250. As we'll see what Wells can do here. Rubino certainly handled him well earlier. The pitch is in there for a ball. Just held up. And now they check, and they say did not go. Thought Redding might check on that one, as there's quite a bit of movement there from Wells. As now Rubino looking in. He winds and delivers. And in there for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. As the Pioneers continue to look for answers. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Rubino pitches. That one is fouled away. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. As the Pioneers continue to trail 1-0. Only 3 hits given up by Rubino. As we are almost through 4 complete. Just needs to get this final batter. The wind and delivery. In there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another Tioga Down showdown. As we'll see what Rubino can do here. Seeing that sun starting to play a factor as well. For those of you on YouTube, I do apologize. As the pitch is in there, cut on, hit out there towards center field, and that one is going to land. So a fourth hit in the ball game, as that'll bring up Harrison Treble. Treble 0 for 1 with a strikeout as well. Treble stepping up. He's batting just a shade under a $150 so far on the season with runners on base. Treble is batting a 154 in 13 appearances. So the wind and pitch from Rubino outside, 1-0, as he heads back to the hill. Obviously, the Pioneers would love to get some more innings out of Rubino, but starting to look down here, I think I'm seeing some action down there in the bullpen getting stretched out. This one's connected on, popped up, as heading out there, Nathan Berg will make the catch, and that will do it as the Pioneers get through the bottom of the fourth. 1-0 the score in favor of Geneva at the moment. And when the Pioneers come back to the plate, they're going to have Cam Redding, Kyle Richardson, Nathan Berg, 7, 8, and 9. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right, and welcome back in here as the Pioneers getting set for the top half of the fifth. Want to remind everybody, Marion Decker Insurance has been helping people in Elmira for over 34 years. Shouldn't you have an ace in the bullpen? Call 607-734-1100 and protect yourself today. Big thank you to again to all of our amazing sponsors. We do appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for being a part of this 2019 campaign. Pioneers trailing by just a run, still have a number of innings to work with, but need to get something going. Have yet to register a hit, as they've reached on error 3 times, and also had a base on balls from Andrew Sexton in his last plate appearance. But so far, Kobe Punchard has really done a job on the Pioneers. As Cam Redding will head back for the plate, of course, his last at bat got screwed up on the, almost pass ball. Didn't quite get past the catcher, and an attempted steal from Schultz. Schultz was gunned down at third, and now Cam Redding will go to work. As Redding steps in as a leadoff batter, he waits. The first pitch cut on there by Redding, hit out there towards right field. And the play will be made. Can of corn out there for the right fielder. Redding goes down 0 for 2. That'll bring up Kyle Richardson, who steps back up. This is almost identical to the lineup we had last night. Richardson stepping in, batting a $174. Talked about earlier, 4 for 24 at this point. Richardson waits, the windup and the pitch. It gets away from the catcher, but it was in there for a strike, according to the umpire. 0-1 the count. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, as Richardson looking to help the Pioneers engineer their first hit of the ball game. The wind and the pitch way outside. That one goes all the way to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Downs showdown. Tioga Downs is your one and only place for table games and slots. Make sure to head on down State Route 17. As the windup and the pitch. Cut on and missed there by Richardson. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. As again, the Pioneers doing their best here to put the bat on the ball, just have not been able to find a way to do so as of yet. The windup and the pitch. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Richardson, the designated hitter tonight, would love to get something started. The Pioneers, we've said it all season, have scored, and they've scored in bunches. The wind, the pitch, cut on by Richardson, and that is a strikeout. Richardson goes down 0 for 2, and just the third strikeout of the game for the pitcher out there for Geneva, Kobe Punchard, who has been beyond efficient. Nathan Berg, 0 for 1 on the night. He steps back in, and we'll be looking to change that as Berg now batting 6 for 34. That one connected on, hit out there towards center field. That one's right back behind second base and will be caught. So a 1-2-3 inning for Geneva, and the Pioneers go down in order. So, top of the fifth is over, and the Pioneers still have yet to register a hit or a run. Elmira really has to get something going here as we are moving into the later stages of the ballgame. We are officially halfway through right now. 4.5 full played. Pioneers trailing 1-0. That one run coming back in the first, as it will appear that Noah Rubino will head back to work here for the bottom of the fifth. When we come back, Noah Rubino goes back to work against the impressive batting order thus far of the Geneva Red Wings, starting with Thursel White. We'll be right back here on YouTube.com. All right, and we are back. Want to thank once again our amazing pregame show sponsor, Miller's Mowing. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607-302-8226, and be sure to tune in 15 minutes before the first pitch of every Elmira Pioneers game and check out the Miller's Mowing pregame show, getting you set for all of the day's action. So Thursel White will head to the plate. Has not been the start he would have wanted. 0 for 7 now, as he was out a little bit earlier today. Thursel White stepping back in the batter's box as Rubino would love to get 9-1-2 all in a row, as that has been a challenge for the Pioneers here tonight. Cut on, hit out there towards left center, and a diving catch there. It is made, and the Pioneers put down Thursel White. He goes down 0 for 2, and that will bring up the leadoff man, Brainy Rojas. Brainy Rojas, 0 for 2 with a strikeout here tonight. So Rojas heads in as he steps in the batter's box. Once again, for those of you who might have tuned in late, we do apologize for the camera situation. The pitch, cut on, popped up, and chasing after it, 3 Pioneers, and the catch is made. No, it drops in. So a foul ball, as I thought Mason Roman had got there, but no, that one falls into foul territory. So some discussion between the first and second baseman there on the Pioneers. As again, Roman and, well, all three really, if you think about it, the first baseman, the right fielder, and the second baseman, Trey Harmon heading out there, Garrett Schultz headed out there, Mason Roman all heading out there, and Roman collided with Harmon. So no balls, 1 strike, as going back to work will be Noah Rubino. He winds and delivers. Cut on, hit down towards the third baseman, rolls by him and into the outfield. So that'll be a hit, and Rojas will be in there with a single. Rojas goes 1 for 3, and Rubino will go back to work against Noah Fisher. Fisher has been on base both times, but is 0 for 2 on the night. 2 reached on errors. So, Pioneers going back to work. Want to remind everybody once again, thank you so much for watching and listening in here on YouTube.com. We do apologize for the camera work. Camera is in focus if you're looking at the fence. Unfortunately, due to many attempts, the cut on is hit out there towards center field and drops in for another hit, as Rojas takes a big turnaround second and will get back in time. But Noah Fisher goes 1 for 3 as he finally reaches without an error. But as I said, some issues with the tracking as there was no way to zoom in. So I do apologize and thank you all for tuning in anyway. As now Brock Kaufman comes up. He is 1 for 2 on the night. Does have a single with Rojas and Fisher both standing on base. Brock Kaufman batting third will be looking to drive in a run. As once again, the windup, the pitch in there for a ball. 1-0 the count. With runners in scoring position, Kaufman batting a $133 in 15 at bats has driven in 5 in this situation, however. Rubino winds, delivers, cut on, grounded, foul. So, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, another Tioga Down showdown. As Noah Rubino trying to work through his 5th inning of work. He's given up 6 hits now. 1 run. That one came all the way back in the 1st inning. Still no activity down there in the Pioneers bullpen. Rubino winds, delivers, chopped on there towards right field. And Schultz is going to get there. And now he throws in Rojas, coming with speed, makes it all the way over to third. As that one was cut off by the shortstop, Nathan Berg, not wanting to take a chance. Puts runners at the corners with 2 outs. Rubino will head back to the pitcher's mound and certainly won't have an easy task of it now as Trevor Rogers comes in. He's 0 for 1, has walked on the evening. Rogers hit a screamer of a foul ball down there earlier. Rubino will certainly pitch him very, very carefully here. Runners on first and third. Rubino wants to keep the game exactly where it is, thinking the Pioneers have got to be due here. Rubino winds, delivers, and in there for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. So another attempt here. Stepping back in. Rogers waits. The wind, the pitch, outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. As again, Rogers steps back in. Takes a deep breath as now Noah Rubino still working out of the stretch. Has runners at the corners. Winds and delivers. Bounces up to home plate. And Cam Redding was up like a spring was under his backside. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Rubino just looking for that final out here in the bottom of the 5th. Trying to work his way through. Rubino looking in. Rogers steps back. Rubino checks the runners. Comes set. Winds and delivers. Cut on. Hit towards center. Going back. Jumping and can't make the grab. That's going to score the run. Ball is thrown in. Quick throw down towards home and can't scoop it as that's going to score 2 and bring Trevor Rogers all the way around to third base. As Rogers hits a triple there. As now Rubino will head back out to the pitcher's mound. That one did not go as well as the Pioneers had hoped. As now Cross Grundy will come up 1 for 2 with a runner back on third base. 2 runs across the plate here in the bottom of the 5th. And the Pioneers now trail 3-0 and have yet to register even a hit. So Cross Grundy stepping up 1 for 2. Does have an RBI on the night. Rogers added 2 RBIs there in just the last at bat. Put it over the center fielder's head, and that's a long way to go out there in center field. That one hit off the wall and still had to be played. Sexton unable to make the grab as now once again Rubino will come back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on, hit out towards center again, and that one will drop in and drive in another run. So a single there for Cross Grundy as he moves up to 2 for 3. Now has 2 RBIs on the night, and that'll bring up Daniel Sperling. Sperling comes up as the Pioneers now trail 4-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Rubino checks the runner at first. Comes set, winds, and delivers. High, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. as still seeing absolutely no movement down in that Pioneers bullpen. This is Rubino's inning to work out of. He winds, delivers, cut on, popped up there, as this one is going to get foul. And that makes another great opportunity for us to remind you to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber collision and auto glass. So the Pioneers trying to get out of this bottom of the fifth. They trail 4-0, have yet to register a hit. Believe, looking at my scorebook, there should be 2 errors for the Pioneers, but only one is up on the board at the moment. That one is in there for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. As again, Noah Rubino looking in, just looking for a way to get out of this inning. He comes set, he winds and delivers. Low, 3 balls, 1 strike. As again, the handoff with Redding. That's got to be a difficult position for Cam Redding, as he has to stare almost directly out into that sun. I know, because I'm looking exactly the same way he is. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Rubino comes set, he winds and delivers. Inside, and they're saying it hit the elbow pad now, as the runner had to defend himself after being hit by the pitch. So, Sperling goes down after being hit by a pitch, and that'll bring up Leo Wells. Wells 1 for 2 with a strikeout on the night. Everybody heading in to have a conversation with the hurler, Noah Rubino, who's really pitched very, very well over the first 3 starts of this season. Now we'll see somebody starting to warm up down there in the bullpen as the Pioneers huddle around the mound. Rubino just 1 out away from getting out of this inning, but now has runners at first and second. So the challenge is on for Noah Rubino. Trying to see who's down there in the bullpen. I believe that's Keegan Ernst. So Ernst down there in the pen, and certainly has been impressive in his own right this season. Has a 5.40 ERA, 1-1 record, 4 games he's played in, 3 that he started. So we'll see as Leo Wells comes up to the plate. Pioneers trailing 4-0. As Rubino comes back set. He looks in, gets a sign, winds and delivers. Outside, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. As Rubino looks in. Pioneers continuing to trail here. The pitch is cut on, and 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. One would have to assume this will be the final inning for Rubino. He pitched very well 1 through 4. 5th inning has just eaten him up a little bit here. So Rubino looking in. Checks the runner back at second. The wind, the pitch, in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs as Rubino looks to finish out this inning. Cam Redding with a very good frame job there. Got that to paint the corner. As now again, Rubino checks the runner back at second. Comes set, winds and delivers. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another tag-down showdown. And the Pioneers pitcher, who has really been the catalyst for quite a bit of the Pioneers' success in the early goings in games, the starting pitching has just been stellar. Just has struggled here tonight against Geneva. So, Rubino coming back set on the mound. He looks in. Gets the sign. Comes set, winds and delivers. Cut on and strikes out Leo Wells. Wells goes down for his 2nd strikeout of the game. Pioneers trail 4-0 after 5 complete. When we come back, the Pioneers head back to the batter's box, and hopefully they can get something going. We'll be the top of the order. Sexton, Mejia, more when we come back. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right, folks, welcome back in here live on YouTube.com. Pioneers getting set to go for top of inning number 6. They trail 4-0, have yet to even register a hit, as Andrew Sexton will head back up to the plate. Sexton 0 for 1, has a strikeout and a base on balls, as he has gone 0 for 10 so far, has worked 2 base on balls. As a leadoff hitter, we'll see what he can do here. Needs to get something started. The Pioneers do tend to score in bunches, but so far they have not been able to get anything going here tonight in Geneva. The pitch fouled back there by Sexton. 0-1 the count. So Sexton will head back to the box. Taking a stroll out there, Geneva pitcher Kobe Punchard. Punchard has been phenomenal here tonight, has yet to allow a hit for the Pioneers. As again, he steps back onto the mound. The wind and the pitch. Sexton looking, takes that one high, 1 ball, 1 strike. So the lights coming on here at McDonough Park as we are live from Geneva. The windup and the pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As again, the Pioneers falling back behind. They trail 4-0 in this ball game. Here in the top of the 6th, the wind, the pitch, connected on there by Sexton, dribbling out towards the shortstop. He barehands it, and Sexton is there. Ball gets by, and he's going to be off and out to the races, as now he gets over to second base. So, great movement there by Sexton. The rush throw, and they're going to give credit for a hit there. So, Sexton moves to 1-2, the first hit of the Pioneers' evening. So, Sexton heads back to second base. Nobody out. Mejia will come back. He's 0 for 2. Did reach on an error here earlier. As now, once again, Mejia comes back up. Mejia 0 for 2. As we said, reached on an error earlier. Would love to put a ball in play and try to bring around that first run of the ball game for the Elmira Pioneers. The windup and the pitch. Mejia puts bat on ball right up through the middle, and this should score the first run of the ball game. Coming around and scoring is Sexton. Mejia will stay at first, and the Pioneers come back quickly here in the top half of the 6th. First hit, first run, and now the Pioneers have 2 straight hits. That'll bring up Preston Moore, as we'll see what they do with Mejia over there at first base. Mejia's speed certainly makes him an asset as the Pioneers trail by 3. Mejia staying fairly close to the bag. Now the pitch delivered and hits Preston Moore. So Moore hit by a pitch, and that'll bring up Mason Ruhlman. Ruhlman 0 for 2 on the night. You have to assume the leash is going to be fairly short on the pitcher for the Red Wings. Punchard has had a brilliant night, but we're starting to see some action down there in the bullpen for Geneva. As Ruhlman steps back in, as he looks out at the pitcher's mound. Of course, he did have a homer last night. Could tie the game if he can do that here tonight. The pitcher now has time called. That one is thrown in as he was already in motion. Umpire had called time, so no count. Nobody out. Runners on first and second, and we'll see what Mason Ruhlman can do here. Ruhlman, the number 4 batter in the lineup, as the Pioneers trying to get back even. The pitch in there for a strike, painting the outside corner. Very good pitch once again, out of the hand of Kobe Punchard. Punchard toes the rubber again. He looks in, getting the sign. Runners at first and second for the Pioneers, trailing by just 3. Punchard comes set. He winds, delivers, and missed there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Pioneers just looking to put something in play and move the runners around. That would be the goal here. Mason Ruhlman up. Plenty more could happen, but we'll see what they can do. The wind, the pitch, Big swing by Roman, and that goes in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Standing on deck, Garrett Schultz. Schultz 0 for 2 tonight, reached on an error, has a stolen base. Also was caught stealing as well. Roman waiting. The windup from Punchard as he checks the runner on second for a third time. Up there, ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out as Roman manages to hold his bat back on that one, just barely. So the sun continues to set out there in left center field. Roman waiting. He looks out as Punchard checks back on the runner at second for the second time. Now a third. Fourth. Now he winds and delivers. That one outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Punchard clearly very concerned about Mejia out there on second base. As I've said, he checked 4 times before throwing that pitch. Certainly an interesting approach here out of the stretch. As Roman steps back in, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Punchard checks once, and now he delivers. Swing and sent right back towards the gate behind him. As once again, we remind you, make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass for any of your automotive needs. So 1 run up on the boards for the Pioneers here in the top of the 6th. 2 hits. First 2 hits of the ball game for the Pios. As again, Punchard sets, he spins back. That, ooh. Not sure. The way he fell down on that, I'm not sure that wasn't a balk. But runners stay where they are. First and second, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Punchard begins his windup, throws, cut on, and hit out there towards left field, and it does drop in. So a fair ball drops in, and the bases are now loaded for the Pioneers. Roman gets his first hit of the night. As now Garrett Schultz comes up. Schultz 0 for 2, reached on an error, has a stolen base. And with the bases jacked, the tying run stands on first base. Schultz, a freshman to be at Xavier, as 2 arms are warming up down there in the Geneva bullpen now. Have to see what the decision is here, as now the catcher giving signs. The sun almost completely set out there in left field, as now we'll get the night sky looming here at McDonough Park here in Geneva. So after an exceptional 5 innings from Kobe Punchard, run into some trouble here in the top of the 6th, and the Pioneers need to cash in. Nobody out. Runners on every base. Big swing there from Garrett Schultz, and that's down for strike number 1. 0-1 the count. Pioneers trailing by 3. They finally got that run back from the first inning here in the top of the 6th. Now they need to get the 3 they just gave up in the bottom of the 5th. The wind, the pitch, cut on, and that one's going to get down, and avoiding the tag there at second, I believe. They do get the runner. So the runner at second is safe. I guess he avoided the tag. So avoided the tag, did the runner at second. The run comes across to score. The Pioneers are now having a 4-2. They're trailing 4-2. The manager for Geneva is headed out, and he's going to argue with the second base umpire. Trey Harmon will be the next one up to the plate. There's just 1 out as of right now, though the scoreboard says otherwise. We'll see what the change is here, as the manager discussing it with the second base umpire. So, once again, now the second base umpire coming in to talk with the home plate umpire. A little surprised. I'm not sure the home plate umpire was going to have an angle on this whatsoever. But they're going to discuss it, as the runner stands on second base right now. The outfielders have come all the way to the infield. So now he's calling him out. So now Matt Birch is going to come and argue. So Matt Birch heads out, and he does not like the call now. He's arguing with the home plate umpire who made the changed decision. Birch saying he didn't get him. Mason Roman certainly doesn't think he was tagged. He's still standing on second base. So an argument from the Geneva manager has changed the mind of the second base umpire, who has now called Mason Roman out at second base. But now Matt Birch getting his turn to argue the call, as he's saying he had just as good a look, and there's no way that guy was able to tag Mason Roman. Birch still stalking the umpire back to home plate. Matt Birch arguing the call. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be with the home plate umpire, as the umpire on second would be the one to make the call. So, Birch will see Roman head back to the bench. So now the Pioneers have 2 outs, 4-2 the score, as the Pioneers trailing by just 2 runs. They do have a runner on third. Trey Harmon now will come up, and that's some interesting baseball there. Called by the manager of Geneva, who came out and argued, then gets the call overturned. Interesting. Very interesting, folks. Pioneers trail by 2, 4-2 the score, as Trey Harmon looking to put a ball in play and drive in the runner who's 90 feet from home. So, 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, as Trey Harmon will look to find a gap somewhere and drive in that run from third base. So, Kobe Punchard comes back set, as again, Harmon looking in. He waits, Punchard comes back set. He winds, delivers, and inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Trey Harmon keeping a sharp eye out there. Would love to get a ball in play, drive in that run from third. Could also be gotten in on a pass ball. Wouldn't mind seeing that either. Close the gap as the pitch is in and bounces away. This is an opportunity, and we just set it in and scores the run as the throw goes past the pitch, drive in the run. Here's close the gap to just 1. So smart base running there from Preston Moore as Trey Harmon up at the dish. 3 balls, no strikes. 4-3 the score now, as the Pioneers recover all 3 runs scored in the bottom of the 5th, here in the top of the 6th, but still trailed by a run. That solo run back in the 1st. As now, Harmon waits, 3-0 count. The pitch in there for ball 4, and Harmon will take a walk. That'll bring up Cam Redding. Redding 0 for 2 on the night, as he heads up to the dish. Redding has a runner on first, and I believe this is going to be the end of the day for the pitcher, Kobe Punchard, as the manager heads out to the pitcher's mound. Will take the ball from Kobe Punchard, and that will bring in a brand new pitcher, as we'll try to get a number here. I believe that's going to be number 30, Tim Blaisdell. Tim Blaisdell, 6'2", 225, freshman at Hartford from Wethersfield, Connecticut. As now you see Matt Birch once again talking with that home plate umpire. He's still not happy about that call from earlier. Blaisdell comes in. He's got 2 wins to his record in 4 games he's appeared in, a .64 ERA, 11 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 runs, 2 of them earned, 3 bases on balls, 5 strikeouts, given up a home run, given up 2 doubles, and has faced 45 batters on the season. Well, he gets stretched out. I want to remind you, Marion Decker Insurance has been helping people in Elmira for over 34 years. Shouldn't you have an ace in the bullpen? Call 607-734-1100 and protect yourself today. So Matt Birch continues to discuss things here as Blaisdell comes in and will finish his warm-up pitches. There's a runner on first base, and that's Trey Harmon, as he will head back out towards the first base area. He walked there. Next batter, of course, will be Cam Redding, the catcher, as still discussing things with the home plate umpires. They allow Blaisdell to get himself stretched out. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Pioneers trailing 4-3. Really, it had no offensive output here until this top half of the sixth inning. Had not been able to get a hit on the board. They started with the top of the order here, and we've talked about how runs come in bunches for the Pioneers. So here in the top of the sixth, perhaps the seventh inning will also be exactly where they need to be as well. So Trey Harmon heads back for first base. Cam Redding steps in to the will get himself set. Now he'll step back into the batter's box and will be the first man to face Tim Blaisdell. Blaisdell, I already said it, 2 wins on this young season. Having only appeared in 4 games, he's got an ERA 1.64. Redding going to be looking for a gap, and that one is high, 1-0. As Elmira trying to claw their way back into this one. See what Redding can do. Harmon, certainly not somebody who's going to steal many bases. Large body over there at first base. 2-0 count. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. As Cam Redding looking to turn things around for himself. Redding waits. The pitch. In there for a strike, paints the outside corner. As again, Blaisdell looking in. See Redding getting himself set. He has had a couple of hard hit balls here over the last couple of days. Just can't seem to get anything to drop for him as of late. He gets a hold of that one, puts it out there into right center. The right fielder coming in and will make the catch. That does it. So Blaisdell comes in, gets a very quick out, and that will do it for the top half of the sixth. Pioneers plate 3, bring themselves back to within 1, and will head towards the bottom half of the sixth inning. When we come back, you're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right, Pioneers fans, Keegan Ernest enters the game. 6'1", 205 pounds, sophomore from Niagara College from Horseheads, New York. Keegan recently committed to Tusculum University to continue his playing career. After an impressive sophomore year in which Ernest appeared in 6 games as a starter, going 4-2, averaging over 10 strikeouts a game, over 14 against the conference. In Keegan's 6 starts, he pitched complete games 4 times with shutouts in 2 of them. So normally and traditionally, a starting pitcher, Keegan will get the ball here in relief as the Pioneers continue to try to figure out their bullpen situation. We touched on it a bit earlier. 5.40 ERA, 1-1 in the win and loss column. 4 games played, 3 started, 15 innings pitched, 21 hits, 9 earned runs. That's all the runs he's given up is 9. All of them earned. 3 bases on balls. 18 strikeouts. Has given up in a numerous number of doubles, though. 7 here early on in the season. So we'll see what Keegan Ernest can do as he looks to come in and put up a big 0 on the board as Harrison Treble comes out 0 for 2. Does have a strikeout here on the evening. Ernest winds, delivers outside 1-0. So each side put up a 3 spot in their last at-bats. Pioneers going to try to change that dynamic. The windup, the pitch, cut on, hit right towards the gap, and that will land in again as the Pioneers throw quickly, trying to get it there to second. It bounces over, and a quick double. We talked about 7 doubles. That's number 8 that Ernest has given up here in the young part of the season. So a double to start off the inning, and Thursel White will come up. As White approaches the plate, Keegan Ernest looking to slow this down a little bit. 4-3 the score in favor of Geneva. Ernest, as I said, normally a starting pitcher. Coming out of the pen, certainly a different situation as Ernest looks the throw down to second and not in time there, as I think that one might have actually hit treble, and that's why it skittered away out there at second base. So, Ernest goes back to pitching here. Saw White show bunt earlier, the third baseman drawn in now because of that. First baseman Trey Harmon looking. The bunt is laid down. They move the runner to third, picked up, thrown over, and the tag is applied. And they looked for the out call there as they might have thought the hand slipped off the bag, but they're not going to get it. So safe at third. And now the Geneva Red Wings have runners at the corner. White remains 0 for 3 as he reaches on the fielder's choice. A hit has been given up there, but I thought that was a reach on a fielder's choice. So we'll have to see as time continues to tick away. Keegan Ernest checks the runner at first as White reaches. So Ernest takes the ball back to the mound. Runners at first and third, like a split in bowling, not the situation you would have liked. But now he's got to deal with Brainy Rojas at the plate. Rojas 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout, cut on and fouled back towards the parking lot. As we remind you again, make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. So Ernest goes back to work. 0-1 the count. Runners at the corners. Ernest gets set. He checks the runner at first. Checks him again. Throws over, and the tag is not in time. So, Keegan Ernest will go back to work here on the mound. Has not had a great start here, as both runners he's faced have reached base. The wind, the pitch, high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still nobody out. As Ernest, facing the leadoff batter, Brainy Rojas, 1 for 3 on the day, has struck out. Certainly would be an ideal situation for the Pioneers if Ernest could get him to do it again. That one high again. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. So this is the leadoff batter set to come up. Noah Fisher, Brock Kaufman, and then Trevor Rogers. The next 3 due up after Brainy Rojas here. Ernest checks the runner at first. Now the umpire calls for time. As again, Keegan Ernest will go back to work. There is some movement down there in the Pioneers' pen. Not going to give long leashes here, as the Pioneers have struggled with the bullpen early on in the season. Ernest winds, delivers, and in there for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As Rojas checking to see where that one hit the zone. Rojas steps back in. There's a White over there on first. There's a short lead, but checked on for the 4th time in this at-bat. The fear, of course, when you check on a runner, ball gets by that first base player, and then that runner from third can come home. Ernest checking in. He sets, winds, deals, and another strikeout there for Brainy Rojas. Rojas goes 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts here, as we're in the bottom of the 6th. That'll bring up Noah Fisher. A ground ball could possibly get the Pioneers out of the inning. As I mentioned again, there is some tossing down there in the bullpen area. We'll have to see who makes their way into the game. As the windup, the pitch, cut on, grounded there towards the shortstop, picked up, scooped over to second base, caught there, but the run will score, and the runner is safe at first as the throw didn't even come. So, Fisher will be out. Fisher makes it to first, but he reaches on the fielder's choice. And again, the Pioneers trail by 2, 5-3. Kaufman, the shortstop, he's 1 for 3 on the night, has a runner on first base now. Keegan Ernest will be trying to get out of this inning. As here comes the pitch. Cut on and hit down the first base line and into the bullpen area for Geneva. 0-1 the count. So again, still some work going on down in that bullpen area for the Elmira Pioneers. As now, waiting, Brock Kaufman. Trying to extend the inning for Geneva. Cuts on, hit right towards the shortstop, scooped up, thrown over to second, and that will do it. As Kaufman unable to keep the inning alive. Geneva tacks on one more, 5-3 the lead as the Pioneers heading back for home plate and hopefully to drive in some runs. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right, and with that, we are back live as the Geneva Red Wings head back out to the mound. And the Pioneers will go back to the plate. This is Kyle Richardson. As Richardson heads back in, you'll get his first look at Tim Blaisdell. He swings right away, driven down the third base line, and the catch will be made in fair territory as Richardson goes down 0 for 3, and that'll bring up number 9 hitter Nathan Berg. So Blaisdell coming right back in. So Berg steps back, 0 for 2 on the day, trying to get something started. As I said, the Pioneers generally score in bunches. The pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out there up on the board. As again, work continues down there. Another cut, 0-2 the count. So, stepping back into the box. The wind and the pitch. Cut on and a strikeout there for Nathan Berg. So, Andrew Sexton will come back up. Sexton 1 for 2. Sexton heads back up to the plate. As again, Pioneers just trying to get through this inning. They have struggled thus far here tonight. The wind, the pitch, swung on, and a big strike number 1. As one more time, Andrew Sexton steps back in here, trying to keep the inning alive. The pitch cut on and connected down the right field way. That's going to put Sexton at least on second. Picked up off the wall, and Sexton is in standing, and he doubles. So 2 for 3 on the night goes Sexton, as that'll bring up Jeff Mejia, who's 1 for 3. Mejia heads back up. He is the tying run at the moment. As again, Mejia steps back into the batter's box. Mejia shrugs, steps back in, and begins to look out. The wind, the pitch, outside, 1-0. Runner on second in scoring position as the Pioneers trying to close the gap, down 5-3. here in the top of the 7th. 7 defensive outs remain for Elmira. The pitch connected on, and that one's going to get foul and out of play, as that one was caught in the bullpen by the bullpen catcher. As once again, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs for Jeff Mejia. Mejia stepping back in the batter's box. Love to find a way through and make some connection here. The wind, the pitch. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. As again, Mejia just looking for a way through here. So, setting up. The windup, the pitch. Outside again, 3-1. So, Mejia coming set. He gets back in there and is waiting. The pitch is in there for a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes, all the way back. As now, Mejia knows this next pitch is do or die. He waits. The pitch delivered. Cut on and hit out there towards the gap. This one could get down, and it will get off the wall. Still going is Mejia. He rounds second, and he will stay right there. So Mejia safe at second. A little bit of trouble on the throw, and that closes the gap once again to 5-4. Pioneers trailing by just a run as Mejia goes 2 for 4 on the night. A beautiful double there as he drove in Sexton. And again, the Pioneers close the gap. That'll bring up Preston Moore. Moore 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch here tonight. Certainly would love to keep things going, as I believe Busher is done warming up down there in the bullpen. Looks as though Geneva has their own man up in the pen. 5-4 the score here. Pioneers trailing by just 1 run. That 1 run is in scoring position, and Preston Moore will be the one to get the opportunity. So, Preston Moore back into the batter's box. The discussion on the mound continuing with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Preston Moore batting .333 in 6 at-bats, has 2 RBIs in that time, would certainly love to make it 3, and this would be a huge run to get for the Pioneers, who have not led in this game. Right now, they're just trying to get it tied back up. They have yet to have that happen since the top of the first inning, when Geneva was able to score in the bottom half. So, tie ball game has not been the regular here in Geneva tonight. See what the Pioneers can do. The pitch, cut on, popped up there towards shallow right, and caught by the right fielder. So the Pioneers managed to put up 1 run. Can't do any more than that. And I do believe we're going to have a new pitcher here, as we'll wait to see. Pioneers clearly would love to get something going. I'm going to wait, hang with you before we take our mid-inning break. As now Matt Busher, 6 foot, 200-pound right-hand pitcher from Old Dominion University by way of Pittstown, New Jersey, is headed out to the mound. We'll have more details when we come back. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right, so as we said, Matt Busher enters the game. Busher's ERA up at 21. He's 0-1 this year. 2 games he's been in, 1 he started, has pitched a total of 3 innings. 5 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them earned, 6 base on balls, 2 strikeouts, having faced 20 batters. Opponent batting average against him, .357. And right now, the Pioneers looking for a stopgap here as they've closed the gap once again to just a run. Seems like it's been that way for the majority of the game. They started trailing in the bottom half of the first, 1-0. That stayed the same until the bottom of the fifth when Geneva tacked on 3 more runs. Pioneers would answer in the top of the sixth with 3 of their own. Geneva would score another one in the bottom half of the sixth, and the Pioneers would answer back on that with a run of their own in the top of the seventh. So we sit 5-4 once again as the Pioneers try to claw and scratch their way back into the game. Of course, the first man to greet the new pitcher, Matt Busher, is going to be Trevor Rogers. Rogers, 1 for 2, has a base on ball, has a triple, has 2 RBIs, and he had a deep shot a little bit earlier that certainly is enough to make any pitcher nervous. Busher would love to shrink his ERA a little bit here as he puts in a strike there on the first pitch. Love to see the control straight out of the bullpen from Matt Busher. Nobody up in the pen warming up at the moment as Busher definitely going to get his inning here. That one in there for strike 2, painting the outside corner. So far, so good for Matt Busher. Busher comes set. He waits, winds, and delivers. Big cut strikeout there for Matt Busher. Comes into the game and has an immediate impact as he gets a strikeout there on one of the biggest bats in the lineup, Trevor Rogers. That'll bring up Cross Grundy. Grundy 2 for 3 tonight. Does have 2 RBIs of his own. So between these two batters, responsible for 4 of the runs that have crossed the plate for the Geneva Red Wings. As again, Busher will go back to work. That one in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Grundy doesn't like the call as his third base coach taking a walk down there. He was looking down for a sign. No, no sign to be given. As now Busher winds, delivers. Big cut there from Grundy. 0-2. So far, so good from Matt Busher. As Busher steps back on the mound. He looks down, gets the sign, doesn't like it, shakes it off, and now will step off. So Cam Redding will have to give Busher something else to throw. Now he's got the one he wants. Comes set, winds, delivers, cut on, hit to center field. Sprinting there is Sexton, and he can't make the catch. Throws the ball back in as quickly as he can, and that is going to be a double for Cross Grundy, who moves to 3 for 4 on the night with that double. So Daniel Sperling, the third baseman, 0 for 2. He struck out and been hit by a pitch as Busher will go right back to work. See what Busher can do here. 1 out. Man on second here in the bottom of the 7th. Busher comes set. He winds and delivers. In there for a strike, 0-1. So Busher is 100% with the first pitch strike so far in 3 batters faced. So another opportunity here for Busher. The wind, the pitch. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Downs showdown. As again, Busher waits. He checks in. Now we'll check the runner back at second base. Busher comes set, winds, deals. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. So Busher having to work out of the stretch here. He was hitting his pitches very crisp there in the first 2 batters. This third batter seeing the first showing of balls, as now he's got 2 of them. Busher trying to adjust his perspective here, working out of the stretch, and winds and deals. Low and inside, 3 balls, 1 strike. So, you wouldn't think it'd be that much of a difference, especially when you watch how the pitcher sets up. It doesn't variate too much from the original stretch into what he has to work out of the stretch, from his original stance. There's not too much deviation, but a little bit, and that's throwing off Matt Busher, who walks. The first batter he faces out of the stretch, and Sperling will head down to first base. That brings up Leo Wells. Leo Wells 1 for 3 on the night, 2 strikeouts. As now Busher will have to compose himself here. Has runners on first and second. A ground ball could get him out of the inning. That has to be the focus for the Pioneers here. Just getting back to home plate as they trail by just a run at this point. Want to keep the gap right where it is. Busher checks the runner at second. Comes set, winds, and delivers. In there for a first pitch strike, so continues being 100% as a first pitch strike thrower. See what Busher can do here. He's got the sign. Comes set. Now the umpire calls time as he's adjusting himself here. And the Pioneers hurler, Matt Busher, goes back to work. After quickly getting the first out, now has given up a double and walked the next batter. That one low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another tag down showdown. Busher trying to keep it low, trying to make sure if Wells reaches out to get something, he puts it on the ground. As a double play could be in order. The windup and pitch from Busher is no, they say he didn't go. Redding wanted an immediate check. Again, the umpire standing back behind the pitcher's mound. An interesting view. I almost wonder if the check is worth it at that point with the view the umpire has. Not quite down the line, which is where you see it checked at the higher levels. Another pitch in there, that time for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As the Pioneers continue to search, trying to find a way to get out of this bottom half of the 7th. Pioneers with 6 offensive outs remaining and still trailing by a run. Busher comes set, he delivers, cut on and bounced foul, as that will keep the count right where we're at. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As now Matt Busher heads back out. Busher helped lead New Hampshire to a 2018 North 2 Group 4 football state title, as he was a multi-sport athlete back in high school. Busher comes back set. He winds, delivers, in there for a strike, and he strikes out Leo Wells. So Wells goes down 1 for 4, his 3rd strikeout of the night. That'll bring up Harrison Treble. Treble 1 for 3, strikeout and a double. And now Matt Busher just 1 out away from putting the Pioneers back into the batter's boxes. Treble comes in. Busher been perfect on first pitch strikes. That one gets away from him. That's going to move the runners on to second and third, as that's the first time Busher has missed the strike zone on pitch number 1. So he hands over the ball. Umpire gives him a new one, and Busher will head back for the mound. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at second and third, both in scoring position now. Pioneers trailing by a run. Geneva threatening here in the bottom of the 7th. Busher toes the rubber. Comes back set. He looks in. Checks the runner over at third. Winds and delivers. Cut on and fouled back. As once again, we remind you to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber collision and auto glass. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, as the Pioneers look to keep the score exactly where it's at, trailing by just a run here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Busher looking in. Now time is called, as Busher was just about ready to come set. And again, Busher steps back on the hill. Looking in. Cam Redding gives a sign. Busher steps off. Now he's back on the rubber. Looking in. He's got the sign he wants. Comes back set. Checks the runner over at third. Winds and deals. That one missed, and Redding didn't like that call, as he thought he got the corner. But once again, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. You saw Redding's knees buckle when the call was not made. So Busher looks in. He's got the sign. Checks over at the runner. Winds, delivers. Cut on and down the foul line. Almost took out his own man at third base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another Tioga Down showdown. Don't forget to check out their summer concert series. Lots of great entertainment coming, as you certainly won't want to duck out of the way of the concert series, but man on third better be careful here, as once again, Treble trying to stay alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch connected on through the gap, and they're going to score at least one here. Second runner coming around, and that will be a 2-run increase to the Geneva Red Wings side of the scoreboard. 7-4, as now Matt Busher will head back out to the pitcher's mound. So Treble, 2 for 4 on the day, hits a single and gets 2 RBIs. Thursel White comes up. He's 0 for 3 on the fielder's choice. The only time he's reached base here tonight. See what he can do here. He laid down a bunt. The play went to third instead of to first. That one is thrown in there. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Pioneers again trailing by 3. And it just seems like that bullpen continues to struggle. Line, the pitch, going. Redding throws down and can't get the tag in time, as the throw was to the far side of the bag. Roman couldn't quite get his glove back before the stolen base occurred, as Harrison Treble now has a stolen base as well. So, Matt Birch watching on. Nothing going on down the Pioneers bullpen, so still Matt Busher's ending to deal with. The line, the pitch, low again. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pioneers still looking for answers. Have not found it in the bullpen so far. Hopefully the bats can warm up when they come back into the batter's box. Line, the pitch, connected on down the first base line and foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another Tioga Down showdown. So Busher out there on the mound. He waits. Now he steps back on the rubber and looks in. Thursel White, 0 for 3 on the night. Would love to get him swinging here. Check back on the runner a second. The line, the pitch, in there for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This next pitch will be definitive. Something is going to happen here. And what that will be, we will see here in just a moment. So again, the line, the pitch, swung on and fouled back by Thursel White. We get another pitch coming here, as Matt Busher would love to get out of this inning. Giving up 2 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Pioneers trailing 7-4. Pioneers with just 6 offensive outs remaining. Busher coming back set. Checks the runner at second. He winds, delivers. In there for a strike, and White goes down on strikes looking. So Pioneers will come back up top of the 8th inning, and they will certainly have their work cut out for them when they come back. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, we are back. Brand new pitcher out there on the mound, as Well, I see 21 out there. I do not see a 21 on the roster. As we continue to look here, trying to figure out who the new pitcher is. So Jacob Macer, who is on the roster as an outfielder, he's 6'1", 205 from Lemoyne, a freshman from Chittenango, New York. So Macer is out there to pitch now, and the Pioneers will hope to do some damage against him here, as that has been a struggle for them thus far here tonight. So Macer, he's thrown for 3.60 ERA, does have a win, appeared in 3 games, has 2 saves, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 base on balls, 7 strikeouts. So Macer has certainly been effective in his time out there on the field. So once again, the Pioneers will head back in. Mason Ruhlman batting 1 for 3. As now again, Pioneers just trying to put up some runs. They're trailing by 3. They have 6 offensive outs remaining. The pitch delivered outside there, 1-0. So Ruhlman will be looking to get himself on base, to be followed by Garrett Schultz, Trey Harmon, and Cam Redding in this top half of the 8th inning. The line, the pitch, and outside yet again. 2 balls, no strikes. As Ruhlman steps back in, he looks out. Late inning heroics have certainly been a piece of Ruhlman's hitting, as he takes strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. So again, opportunities here for the Pioneers have come late in the game. As I said, they come in bunches as Jacob Macer looks. He steps off. As he takes a moment, we'll remind you, Marion Decker Insurance has been helping people in Elmira for over 34 years. Shouldn't you have an ace in the bullpen? Call 607-734-1100 and protect yourself today as Ruhlman fouls that one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And we remind you again, to make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. Ruhlman looking out again. Pioneers trailing 7-4. This is the 4-5-6 part of the lineup. See what the Pioneers can do. The windup, the pitch. Ruhlman connects, drives it out towards center field. Chasing it down is Brainy Rojas. He goes back and will make the grab, as Ruhlman will go 1 for 4 on the day. Garrett Schultz will be the next batter up for the Elmira Pioneers. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Did reach on an error and stole a base. So, Schultz goes back, and he is going to have to try to get something going. Schultz looking out. Rojas was just able to catch up with that deep drive there from Ruhlman. That had been to the right or left field. You have to figure that one would have been bye-bye baby, but could not quite angle it enough. Schultz now waiting. The pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody up in the bullpen, so I would assume we're going to see Matt Busher yet again. Unless perhaps head coach Matt Birch has other ideas. As again, the pitch comes inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Down showdown. As you see Schultz step back in. He looks out. Waiting. The windup begins. Delivery, and that one's in on the inside corner. Schultz shaking his head. He did not like that call whatsoever. As Macer trying to quickly close the gap here for Geneva. They have just 5 defensive outs to get here. And now he's got Schultz within 1 strike of making it 4. So Schultz waiting. The pitch incoming outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As again, Garrett Schultz will step back into the box. He's taking his time. He's looking, trying to make sure he's got his hands right. As again, Schultz waits. 7-4 the score in favor of Geneva. The wind, the pitch, connected on, hit out towards shallow right, and that's going to drop in. Garrett Schultz gets a single. So Schultz 1 for 4 now on the day, as that is going to bring up Trey Harmon. So Trey Harmon heads to the dish. Pioneers still trailing 7-4. 5 offensive outs remaining for the Elmira Pioneers. Pioneers, having just 6 hits on the night, have reached on an error on several occasions. See if Harmon can find his way onto the base paths here. He's got Schultz on first. As now the windup and the pitch. Connected on by Harmon. Popped out there to shallow right center. Both outfielders trying to pinch in there, and the grab will be made by Brandy Rojas, and that will send back Garrett Schultz to first base. And that'll bring up Cam Redding. Redding 0 for 3 on the night. Has not been his night at the dish. Pioneers down to their final 4 offensive outs. So Redding steps back in here. Has a runner on first. Garrett Schultz over there still. As Redding looks out. The pitcher coming set yet again. Mazer. He winds and deals outside. 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Still, as I said, nobody warming in the Pioneers bullpen, so despite giving up 2 runs, it appears to be Matt Buscher's 8th inning. As once again, Cam Redding waiting. Here comes the wind, the pitch, inside. Redding takes ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Runner on first. Next man up would be Kyle Richardson. He waits on deck. As Redding waits. Again, has struggled a little bit at the plate here early in the season. The windup, the pitch from Mazer. Big swing there from Redding. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Redding was looking for the fences on that one. That was a big hack. As again, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. As again, Redding waits. The windup from Mazer, the pitch. Big swing again from Redding. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another tag down showdown. And Redding just trying to find the ball with his bat. Has not been able to do it much here early on. So, Redding stepping back in. He looks out. Mazer comes set out on the mound. The windup and the pitch. Swung on for strike 3, and Redding goes down swinging. His first strikeout of the night. And the Pioneers are down to their final 3 offensive outs. We'll see what the situation is when we come back. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on YouTube.com. All right, and with that, we are back live from McDonough Park. Matt Busher goes back to work as he will pitch a second inning here. Again, nobody down in the Pioneers bullpen, so it appears to be his game to finish at the moment. As that'll bring up Brainy Rojas. Rojas robbed Ruhlman of a hit back there in the top of the eighth. Pioneers down to their final three offensive outs. They need to get through these three right here, though, first, as that one is popped up and no, unable to make the catch, as sprawling out was Garrett Schultz. Just could not quite get there. I believe it hit off his glove and bounced right out into foul territory. No balls, one strike. Great effort there by Garrett Schultz, and he launched that one from deep down the line right back to the pitcher's mound. Cam Redding calling for the ball, wants it checked on. As again, Pioneers will go back to work. No balls, one strike here for Matt Busher as he will start off the top of the eighth with Brainy Rojas. Rojas, 1 for 4, does have 2 strikeouts on the day. The wind, the pitch. In there for a strike as it does get away from catcher Cam Redding. No balls, 2 strikes. So Rojas, speaking with the home plate umpire, as now Redding comes back set. Busher, love to make it 3 strikeouts on the day for Rojas as he winds, delivers, and that one too low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Redding has to chase the ball down. Busher trying to get Rojas swinging here. Pioneers continue to trail 7-4. They'll get one more shot up at the plate. As again, Busher comes set, winds, delivers, cut on, hit right towards the shortstop, scooped up there and thrown over to first, and it's not in time as Rojas got down there in a hurry. So Rojas goes 2 for 5 on the day. And that'll bring up Noah Fisher. Fisher 2 for 4 on the day already. Reached on an error, was caught stealing, and then reached on a fielder's choice. So again, ideal situation here for the Pioneers would be a ground ball double play, but those have not come easy. As again, Fisher steps in. He comes set, waiting. Busher winds and delivers. Cut on and able to be caught there as Ruhlman dived for it and just couldn't come up with it. Thrown back towards second, trying to catch Rojas, who had overrun second base, but another perfectly hit ball. And now Noah Fisher, 3 for 5 on the day. Brings up Brock Kaufman. Kaufman 1 for 4. And the Pioneers still with nobody out. Now have runners at first and second. A 7-4 deficit to make up already. Can't give up another run. As Elmira trying to work their way out of this jam. Still no one down in the pen for Elmira. Busher gets a sign. Checks Rojas at second. Winds and deals. Cut on and hit hard. Deep back. And that one is going to get off the wall. And this is going to score at least 1. As the runners had to hold up in fear of the ball being caught. Rojas comes around to score. And it's an 8-4 deficit for the Elmira Pioneers now. So the ball comes back in. The runners now stand at second and third. And Matt Busher will now have to face Trevor Rogers. As Kaufman earns a double and an RBI. So Rogers 1 for 3. As we'll see what Busher can do here. Busher comes set out there on the mound. He looks in. Certainly can't leave a pitch like that up to Trevor Rogers because he will put it a long way out of this ballpark. Coming set, the wind, the pitch. Big swing there by Rogers. 0-1 the count. So, again, Rogers gets set. Busher has his sign. He winds, delivers. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runners at second and third. Very defensive posture here from the Elmira Pioneers infield as everybody just about on the infield grass, save Trey Harmon, who's standing just about a foot off of it. The line, the pitch, connected on right past the third baseman. This is going to score both runs, as that is a fair ball, and that will put the runner on second. So a double and 2 more RBIs for Trevor Rogers, who goes 2 for 4, has a triple and a double, and 4 RBIs on the day. And again, nobody warming in the bullpen. Matt Buscher still standing on the mound. He looked over at the bullpen. Nobody is doing anything over there. Buscher talking with his catcher Cam Redding, and the Pioneers trail now 10-4. As now somebody's starting to get up over there. Buscher just wanted to get through this 8th inning. Unfortunately, the Pioneers have gone from trailing 7-4 to trailing 10-4, and a 6-run deficit going to be hard to make up in the 9th inning. So Cross Grundy comes up to the plate. Pioneers deliver a first pitch strike from Matt Buscher. Buscher still is the man on second base. Stretching out there in the bullpen is Steven Rossi, number 37. So Buscher comes set. He winds and delivers. In there for strike number 2. 0-2 the count. As now Buscher steps on the mound again. As he toes the rubber. Looking in. He comes back set. Winds and deals. That's in there for a strike. So he gets Grundy out of there. As that will be 3 for 5 for Grundy as he strikes out. And that brings up Daniel Sperling. Sperling 0 for 2 with with a strikeout, hit by pitch, and a base on balls. So, see what Sperling can do here. As Buscher tries to escape this bottom of the 8th inning. He's given up 3 runs already. Connected, hit down the line, and foul, 0-1. Buscher gets the ball back on the mound. 10-4 the score in favor of Geneva. As again, the Pioneers pitcher sets up on the mound. This is Buscher. Gets the sign he wants. Comes back set, winds and delivers. Cut on and fouled back, 0-2 the count. So again, the Pioneers trying to make their way out of another tough inning. Since the 5th inning, they've given up 3 in the bottom of the 5th, 1 in the bottom of the 6th, 2 in the bottom of the 7th, and 3 now here in the bottom of the 8th. All the Pioneers scoring took place in the 6th and the 7th, 3 and then 1. Now that one is fouled back into the parking lot. We remind you once again, make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. So, another opportunity here for Sperling as coming back set. Gonna see what the Pioneers can do here to get out of this inning. The pitch, inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. As it has been tough treading here for Pioneers bullpen pretty much all season, Matt Buscher, the current recipient of some bad luck, 5 runs in 2 innings, 1 inning, 0.1 at this point. Still looking to get out of this inning. Low again, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As the Elmira Pioneers desperately trying to work their way out of this. So Buscher waits. Comes set. Winds and delivers. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As again, Steven Rossi getting warm down there. So Buscher scratching his head out there, just trying to come up with a way to get another out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Deciding pitch right here. As Buscher looks in. Comes set. The line, the pitch. Cut on and fouled back towards the bullpen yet again. So, staying alive down there is Daniel Sperling. Busher just continues to struggle here. So Stephen Rossi warming up. We'll see what happens here. Could depend on the fate for Matt Busher. Here in the bottom of the eighth. The wind, the pitch, and ball four. So runners on first and second. Matt Birch heading out here. We'll see if he's going to have a conversation with his hurler, if he's coming for the ball. As now, Birch heads out. He talks with Busher. He grabs the ball. Busher going to be held there for a moment. And I believe that means we will see Stephen Rossi. We're held up here for a moment. All right, so Busher gets to talk. And now Stephen Rossi will come in, number 37. Rossi has not had the auspicious start he would have hoped for either this season. He's come in relief in a number of occasions for the Pioneers. Rossi's ERA 13.5, 1 win, 1 loss. In 4 games, he's appeared in 6.2 innings, 5 hits, 10 runs, all of them earned, 12 bases on balls, 5 strikeouts for Rossi. So, once again, Stephen Rossi taking to the mound, number 37. As this is going to be an interesting one. So Rossi coming in and getting stretched out. Take this opportunity to remind you once again that if you didn't tune in early, our pregame show was brought to you by Miller's Mowing. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing, 607-302-8226. And remember to tell them the Pioneers sent you. As once again, Stephen Rossi getting stretched out here. It's a 10-4 game. The Pioneers need 2 outs. And right now, it's been rough going as Sperling drew his second base on balls of the night. I'll bring up Leo Wells, who's 1 for 4 on the night, does have 3 strikeouts. So the Pioneers are trying to get that going. So we'll have to find out. And again, we will see what Stephen Rossi can do. Rossi has struggled in his first couple appearances. Of course, he struggled back in the game. He even got the win in. That was back in the first game of the season when he relieved Noah Rubino. As of right now, Rubino is, I guess, off the hook for the loss as the winning run at the moment crossed the plate in the 6th inning. So at the moment, Rubino's going to get another no decision. And unfortunate for him, he's really had a great start to the year here. As once again, we'll see what the bullpen can do here. As the Pioneers now trail by 6, 3 offensive outs remaining, just the top of the 9th. This one is fouled back and into the parking lot. So another reminder, make the right decision, insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. So now, once again, Pioneers trying to get out of this. Stephen Rossi out there on the hill. Rossi looking in. 0-1 count. Rossi immediately having to work out the stretch. He winds and deals and low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another tag down showdown as your Pioneers trying to get themselves out of the bottom of the 8th. So they're going to head out and have a conversation as Redding makes his way out. So Redding and Rossi talking out there at the pitcher's mound. Redding still chatting with Rossi out there, and the home plate umpire starts his walk out, and now he'll turn around as Redding heads back for home plate. Redding makes the jog as Rossi is out there. Clearly, the Pioneers would love a ground ball, get themselves out of this inning. As one more time, Rossi looks in. So, Rossi comes set, winds, delivers, and that one goes back to the backstop, and that will move the runners to second and third. Thrown back here to Rossi, and now Stephen Rossi has runners in scoring position. So, Rossi, 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out was made by Busher. And we'll see. As now, Rossi steps off the rubber out there on the pitcher's mound. Now he steps back on, takes a look inside as the batter steps in. So, Rossi gets set. He winds, delivers, cut on, and strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As the Pioneers trying to get out of this inning. 6 runs up on the board ahead of them, and they've got the top of the ninth to get them back. Have to see what they can do, but first they got to get out of this bottom half. The pitch swung on, hit out there to center, and the catch will be made by Sexton. That will drive in another run, though, as coming around to score will be the first baseman, Trevor Rogers. So the sac fly executed to perfection there, as now that'll bring up Harrison Treble. So Treble comes up 2 for 4. Does have a strikeout, has a double, has 2 RBIs. As now we'll see what Treble can do here. Pioneers now trailing 11-4 after the tag-up run. And again, Rossi winds up, delivers, and cut on, swung back and towards the parking lot as the count goes to 0-1. So, Pioneers continue to struggle here on the road, especially against divisional talent. The windup and pitch from Rossi is high. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Stepping back in, Treble, looking. 2 for 4 on the day. We talked about the double, single, 2 RBIs. Treble waits, the pitch. Fouled right back and over my head here as another reminder to make the choice for Gerber Auto Glass and Collision. As again, Steven Rossi, 1-2 count. The pitch, high, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, another Tioga Down showdown as the Pioneers continue to battle here in the bottom of the 8th. So Rossi comes back set. He looks in, winds and deals. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Rossi just needs 1 more strike. As again, Rossi coming set. He looks in, winds and deals. Cut on, hit out there towards left center, and will be caught. And that will do it. So the inning mercifully ends, but not before a 4 spot is put up again by the Geneva Red Wings. Pioneers will head to the dugout, and when we come back, the top of the 9th and the Pioneers' final chance to get themselves back into it, trailing by 7, 11-4. All right, so one more new pitcher here as the change is made. And, well, I guess you could call it a non-save situation here. But coming into the game, Maxwell Barsamian from Trinity, Connecticut, a freshman, as he heads out to the hill, and the Pioneers will have yet another new pitcher to deal with. See what the Pioneers can do. Barsamian, 2.16 ERA, 0-1 the record, 6 games entered, 8.1 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 6 bases on balls. So the struggle for the Pioneers doesn't get much easier here. They'll wind up in the pitch in there for a strike, as taking his cuts here, Kyle Richardson, 0 for 3 with a strikeout on the evening. It's going to be 8, 9, and 1. Richardson, Berg, and Sexton. Richardson fouls that one back, 0 and 2. The count quickly moves along. So another opportunity here, as looking out at the pitcher is Richardson. The windup and the pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pioneers trying to get some offense started here, as the defense has been lackluster here tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pioneers trailing 11-4. Noah Rubino came in, pitched 5 complete, gave up 4 runs. Pioneers got all of those back after Rubino had exited the game. The wind, the pitch, connected on, popped up there, and should be an easy one for the shortstop, as that is an easy catch. Pop out in the infield for the first out. Richardson goes down 0 for 4. Nathan Berg, 0 for 3 on the day, has a strikeout to his credit, as once again, Berg steps in. He looks. The wind, the pitch, and low, 1-0. So, Berg getting set. He waits for the pitch from Barsamian. Barsamian winds up and delivers. Cut on and fouled away there. Another opportunity to remind you to make the right decision. Insist on Gerber Collision and Auto Glass. So we'll see what he can do here. Berg in another 1-1-1 count. Another down showdown. That one is in there for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Berg steps on in. He waits. The windup and the pitch. That one is popped up foul again. The catcher chasing after it and is not going to get there. So a foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out for Nathan Berg. Berg's going to get one more opportunity here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As now, Barsamian heads back out. 11-4 the score. Pioneers would love to get something going here, but they've got 2 offensive outs remaining. Wind up from Barsamian. Delivery. And connected on there by Berg. Driven out there towards right field. The right fielder heads back and makes the catch just barely. He had some trouble tracking that one down as Berg goes 0 for 4. That'll bring up Andrew Sexton. Sexton 2 for 3 on the night. Does have a double, has a single, and has walked. Also struck out 1 time. So, Sexton heads up. 1 final out remains on the stat line here. See if Sexton can get something done here. Geneva has not been an easy place for the Pioneers this season. The wind, the pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. As now Sexton steps back in. He waits. The windup and the pitch. In there for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was a big ball call there from the umpire. Haven't heard him call it that way all night. As now, once again, the windup, the pitch. Inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Sexton trying to find his way on base. Pioneers trailing by 7. The windup and the pitch from Barsamian. In there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. What could be our final Tioga Down showdown of the evening. Pioneers waiting. Sexton trying to add one more hit to his repertoire. Pitcher steps off the mound. So once again, we'll see. As the windup and the pitch. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So the next pitch will be decisive here for Sexton. Sexton steps back in. Jeff Mejia stands on deck. The windup and the pitch. In there for a strike, and that will do it as Sexton takes it looking. Takes his second strikeout of the night. The Pioneers will fall 11-4 to the Geneva Red Wings. So again, Geneva continues to be a very difficult place for the Pioneers to play. They have not done well here since the playoffs last year when they were defeated in hand in a one-game playoff by Geneva. They're going to have to find a way to turn it around this season and hopefully start a new winning streak tomorrow as the Pioneers head back home to historic Dunn Field. We hope we'll see you there. I'm John Clement. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night, Elmira.